Usually a trip to Homestead-Miami for many years in the NASCAR Cup Series has signaled the end of a season. Of course, now that track has changed to Phoenix, and as we head here to Homestead-Miami for tonight, this season is far from over for the Area Cup Series. We still have only a couple rounds left, though, before the playoffs begin, and it's getting tight. Drivers trying to get that final ticket into the playoffs for their chance at a championship. We'll see who can maybe punch that ticket in tonight. My name is Funi Takuna here with Hunter Sleppy and Eric Wineland. Gentlemen, I'm glad to be with you as always for another exciting round here.
Oh, absolutely. We just love coming here for the Factor 210 at Homestead-Miami. And yeah, this is the true track where it should cap off the regular season, the season finale. It should be at this track. Not Phoenix, but nonetheless, this track, regardless of where it's in on the calendar, whether it's in February, in August, or in October, where it is now in real life racing, this track puts on such a good show for mile-and-a-half racing. And kind of going back to it, we haven't had a mile-and-a-half race since Charlotte, in which Jake Matheson won in a caution-free event, Eric. But I don't think we'll get caution-free action tonight. I think we'll see a little bit of beating banging here and there, bringing out some yellows.
Hunter, I am excited for this one. Not only are we at Homestead, which is an awesome track, we got the oval update, the first step, the first phase, if you will, of an oval refresh coming. So some slightly more dynamic track. I expect to see some guys within the top lane here at Homestead a little more tonight, Finian, as well as Hunter said it, no cautions at Charlotte. Not going to be the case here tonight. Track temperature 129 for qualifying in the heat of the day, and it's only going to get hotter as these guys run it. And you get a look at our playoff picture here, Finian. I got my eye on Ryan Hartz right there, 7 points below for a driver who thinks he should have already had a win this season.
Yeah, it's kind of amazing. I didn't even realize he was that low in the points coming to tonight, but he's definitely one of those drivers on the outside looking in. We got some pretty quick drivers in the back as well. Doug Newman, Justin Anasogak, Blaze McKinney, who we've seen do pretty well at some other events. They're trying to get that final win. They need that win to get themselves in, but of course we got a couple of guys. Look at Michael Curran, 82 points. You can argue maybe he doesn't need a win at this point at the rate things are going at, but here we got the team standings here. Solar Flare Racing with 691 points, but don't look too far back. Miller Racing right on their tail as they've been really doing very well, especially at the start of this season. Lucky Duck Motorsports falling behind in third with 609 Motorsports, fourth, fifth, Physiques Motorsports rounding out your top five there.
Yeah, this one's looking pretty good for the team standings as well. And driver standings are close, but team standings really going to be interesting and seeing how that unravels as we're getting closer to the regular season being over and into the playoff territory. And look no further than the 73 at Jake Nichols for both Solar Flare Racing and for himself in the driver standings.
Jake already working his way around the track here in 3 and 4 now. Of course, one lap for these drivers only. One and only attempt here at a bigger track. On the bigger tracks, over a mile as he comes flying out of turn 4. We'll see, can it be a quick enough time for him to be near the top of the timesheets where he usually is here in qualifying, and he will indeed go to the top of the timesheets with a 33.9. Still early in qualifying, Michael Curran comes flying across the track. He's in 6th in the number 24 car. Looking back, also Blaze McKinney, we're just talking about him in pre-race. He definitely needs to have a good night here.
Yeah, Blaze needs to get a little move on here, and we'll see what he can do here in qualifying. For the first time lap for the 87, the first and only time lap. Remember, this track is over a mile long in the Area Cup Series. Only one lap of qualifying for any track longer than a mile. Blaze puts in I lost him on there he is. A 34.19, which will put him P8 on the board. Not the greatest, but not too shabby. Like I said, track temperature right now, guys, 129.
Yeah, 129. It's going to be hot and slick out there. And Hunter, we've seen some racing here in the past, especially in real life. You know, these guys sliding up right against the wall, and especially in these hot temperatures. How do you think that these guys are going to be able to cope with it? Are they going to be able to cope with it? Do we think you're going to see some cautions here tonight?
Yeah, well, we average about 4 yellows every race here for the Cup Series at Homestead-Miami. And oddly enough, the last 2 times we've been here, Jake Nichols has won both races back in Season 2 and Season 4. Cameron Hearn, the only other winner here at Homestead. But going to be interesting to see as Anasogak goes around. I was just about to say, he had a good run going back at Darlington. So we'll have to see how that plays out for him, and we'll have to see if anyone else can dethrone Jake Nichols. So far, the closest one to doing that is Connor Okrezik.
Yeah, stuck up there with a in the 14 to be second on the timesheets. See if anyone else can get closer. Still, a couple guys have pretty much half the field went down immediately and put a time down. I think some others just waiting to see maybe if some clouds come over the track, cool it down just a little bit, and they can try to get a faster lap. Dom DeLeo out there in the 22, way up against the wall, warming up for this lap.
Dominic DeLeo gonna go middle on his 1 and 2 of his qualifying lap. And he goes middle to bottom. All right, I can respect that line, Finian, but I expect the bottom to be the fast lane, though. Rumblings through practice when I was talking to a couple of different teams, the high line may not hurt in 1 and 2. Dom's a little higher than I would expect in 3 and 4. You kind of want to be right down on that first seam, right above that white line. To get the optimal line. We'll see what the 22 puts in here. P15 on the board, 34.40. Long way from pole, but I don't think he'll be too mad with that. He's beaten at least a couple guys out here as we've had about half the field take time.
Have them getting time down. Edward Scherer Jr. out there on the track. Another one of those drivers, I think, running around 16th, 17th in the points. So he could definitely benefit from a win if he can get it done here and execute. We'll see if he can at least execute in qualifying here. I think he's had some decent days, some relatively mediocre days, but definitely needs to step it up again with only just about 3 rounds remaining before the playoffs start. And solid lap from the 17 up into 8th place.
Yeah, Scherer Jr. is sitting 16th in the driver's standings, so an 8th place starting spot would work out best for him in this case. And Travis Beckner is going on the racetrack, but at the top of the board, you still see Jake Nichols leading, but just 4 1,000ths of a second off. His time was teammate Seth Knoll after getting the win last week at Richmond following a 2-tire call that worked out in the very end for him. He's currently got a streak of 4 top 5s in a row, including that win last week at Richmond. But we'll see what Travis Beckner can do and what the 3 of Ryan Hartz can do, as he had a struggling performance last Thursday. On the Cup side of things, he's sitting 13th in the driver's standings, so wanted to get a little bit more closer to that cutoff line in the right direction, not the wrong direction.
He had a heck of a time at Richmond last time out for the Area Cup Series as well, I believe. I think he got caught up on some incidents. And P4 on the board for the driver in the number 3, Loop Technologies. We see Jake Matheson, your point leader, Finian, who goes third.
Almost
on the
second.
board behind the Solar Flare Racing drivers.
Travis Beckner coming across the line. He's going to be 6. He's going to be lined up in behind them. But wow, it's a very tight battle. 0.08 of a second separating Nichols, Knoll, and Matheson up at the top of the timesheets. We'll see if anyone else can execute and get up a quicker time. Douglas Newbegin coming across the line. He will be starting his time lap. Kwame Scott has gotten out there has given up on his lap. I think he had an issue or an incident. So the 99 will be starting from the back of the field. So a couple guys waiting to put a time down. And so we saw him spin by Senizek. He got out there, also had a bit of a spin and a mistake, so he's going to be out of qualifying. Still got Mason Kane, Jacob Bell, David Weishart, Ben Pierce, and Connor Horn left to qualify. He's a 71 drifting out of turn 4. He's just going to save it. Oh, I think that'll count at the very least. Might not be particularly quick, but he will go up to, let's see, where will he be at? No, it doesn't.
That was his warm-up lap.
Was it? Oh, well, because it's...
Or he might have made contact with the wall at some point.
Might have. Or, because I'm not sure if it counts at a certain amount after the line, but either way, no time for the 71. He'll be starting from the back. Cedric Hunter's out there. He's attempted a lap, but has not been able to put one down, so he will be also starting from the back. 2 minutes remaining in qualifying. I'm curious to see if anyone else will get out there and put a time down, but for the most part, qualifying looking mostly wrapped up.
Indeed it is, as there's still about a minute and a half left, and if you want to go out and make a lap, you're probably going to want to do it right about now. So Jake Nichols, he's won the last 2 times here from Homestead-Miami, and looking like he's going to start on pole for tonight's race. The Factor 210, new sponsor here this week for all the area races. So race fans, Are you looking to eat healthier in 2024? No need to fear, Factor is here. Choose from over 20 different meal options each week, including keto-friendly choices, calorie-smart meals, and vegetarian options. Factor meals are prepared with nutrients and ready to eat in 2 minutes or less, saving time so you can enjoy your day without meal prep or cleanup. Click the link below in the Twitch chat to get started and use coupon code FACTORSE46850 to save 50% off your first box. 50. And that's code FACTORSE46850. Or you can just type !Factor in the Twitch chat.
I was going to say, that's something definitely I should probably be looking into. I've been trying to eat a little bit healthier this year, improve my diet, so I think I might be definitely giving them a look up once this race is over here. And the race is just about to begin here. 30 minutes left in qualifying here as... Oh, I was trying to get Travis Beckner. He's having a bit of a Raven Zoom. I don't know what he's jamming to, what he's listening to. He looks happy.
You've been doing too much Daytona 24 racing if you think there's 30 minutes left in qualifying.
Did I say 30 minutes? I meant 30 seconds.
Yeah, I just want to get you on that because you did run the Daytona 24 this past weekend, as a lot of people on the service did. Congratulations to all those that completed the race. That's a pretty big feat in and of itself. As we get set here for the starting lineups, Solar Flare Racing, Finian, really cementing themselves at a potential team championship run. They just took the team championship lead from Miller, as we documented, and now they got the front row locked out.
Yeah, front row locked out. They've been such a strong team this season. I mean, Miller Racing, they came firing out of the cannon at the start of the season, but now Solar Flare, they're kind of come back up to not necessarily reclaim their dominance, but they've come out there to fight. And taking a look at the team standings again before we get there, only 3 points separating these two teams. Such a solid set of drivers on both teams, and they've been going at it tooth and nail for most of this championship, and it's still far from over. Of course, Jake Matheson for Miller Racing leading, Nichols in second for Solar Flare, Seth Knoll also for Solar Flare in fourth, Beckner in sixth for Miller Racing. So they've been knocking punches up there, and again, as this championship really starts to dial down, I'm curious to see how many of the drivers can they get in the playoffs, and then two, also see how they're going to fight for that championship, because you can bet it's going to be a solid brawl.
Good old solid brawl indeed, as waiting for the warm-up period to cool off. But yeah, one of these drivers I'm looking at, Casey Lakatos, he's up to 14th in the driver standings, but going to have to be a little more consistent in order to make it inside that top 12 or even get a win, which he has a win at a super speedway race, although it was the preseason opener at Daytona and all in fuel mileage. He still has a good shot at winning at a super speedway. And it's interesting to note, 14th in the driver standings, all without a top 5 or a top 10 on the season. A pretty impressive stat right there. 25th is the average start for Lakatos, an average finish of around 19th. So consistency does get you places. Could get Lakatos into the postseason. I
think you might have to push just a little bit more. Sorry, Eric. And I mean, you've seen a lot of these drivers, how they've been doing so far, and that inconsistency. But you do need to be consistent, yes, but you do need to perform.
He's trending in the right direction, though. That is what you want to be doing. I'm just waiting to see, can we get that breakout moment like Ricky Springer has had, like Seth Knoll has had? Can Casey Lakatos find that within himself, find that breakout moment to produce a late playoff run? We'll have to see as we get set for our Roasted Gems starting lineup, Finian.
Yeah, and on that note, I got to thank our starting with sponsor, Roasted Gems Coffee. Race fans, start your engine with a fresh cup of Roasted Gems Coffee. Choose from some of the finest coffee beans from Colombia and Peru, or try the blended flavors of French vanilla and hazelnut. Use discount code AREA iRacing for 10% off your order at checkout at roastedgems.com. We got just about 35, 36 drivers lined up here on the grid, so let's get through your starting lineup. Starting on pole, it's going to be Jake Nichols in the number 73 on the inside, Seth Knoll in second in the number 1. Like you mentioned, Eric, that's a solid Solar Flare lockout for the front row.
Row 2, it's going to be Jake Matheson, new points leader in the driver standings by only 2 points over the pole starter Jake Nichols, and alongside him, Connor O'Crescent going to roll off 4th.
Moving on back to 5th, Ryan Hart's in the number 3, lining up on the inside lane. Needs a good running to get himself in the points, already starting pretty well. Travis Beckner lined up in 6th in the number 28 next to him.
And in 7th for row 4, going to be Greg Mitchell in the 2 for Fazekas Motorsports. Alongside him, the 609 Motorsports driver of Jeremy Miller rolling off 8th.
Moving on back to 9th is going to be Ricky Springer in the number 51. Ed Robertson lined up in the 64, rolling off in 10th.
And 11th is Edward Shearer Jr., and alongside him is the consistent Michael Curran rolling off 12th.
Moving on back to 13th, going to be Blaze McKinney in the 87 car. Next, and Brad Slaughter Jr. in 14th in the 83.
Row 8, a couple of Chevrolet bow ties. Tyler Nichols going to roll off 15th in the 41, and alongside him, Blake Hopp going to roll off 16th in the 23.
Bryce Slade's going to be rolling off 17th in the number 8 car. Next to him, Garrett Grant, line up in the number 5 in 18th.
Row 10, it's Justin Bondurant in the number 11 rolling off 19th, and alongside him, the Fazekas Ford of Dom DeLeo rolling off P20.
Moving on to 21st, James Shane Wolf in the number 75 car. Next to Matthew Bell in the number 9 in 22nd.
In 23rd, it's Skylar Shackelford in the 88 car, and alongside him, Cameron Hearn rolling off 24th, season 1 winner here at Homestead.
We go back to 25th, Casey Lacadas, who really needs to get a solid points run in for tonight to get in the playoffs. Connor Horn line up in 26th, and the 42 going to be coming from a long way back.
27th is the new driver for Steve Letard Esports, Kwame Scott, and alongside him, Doug Newbigin, going to roll off P28.
Moving on back to 29th, it's going to be David Weishart in the number 33. Bryce Senezak rolling off in 30th in the 09.
P31, it's Cedric Hunter, and alongside him, Jacob Bell, P32.
Moving on back to 33rd, Mason Kane in number 31, Ben Pearson 34th and 65, and Justin Anasogak will be rounding out our field of 35 drivers in the 67. All right, guys, pick me your winner for tonight's race.
Eric, you go first.
I'm on pole. I'm going to pick pole sitter. I know I pick him a lot, but hey, he gets me points. Jake Nichols wins tonight.
All right, Hunter, your pick.
I'm going to take the 3 of Ryan Howard's.
I'm going to go with the 1 of Seth Knoll, looking strong, especially at this time in the season. We'll see what he can do. Pace truck off to the left-hand side on a pit lane. Fielding control of the 73 as we get ready to go green here at Homestead.
Someone is off the racetrack. It's the 41 and Tyler Nichols. What a save.
Going to lock it down here, and we'll save it and get back rolling. But it'll be down in 33rd as the field comes out of turn 4. Travis Beckner sideways out of turn 4, drifting out there to complete lap 1.
Oh, car in the wall back there. Might have been Doug Newbing in the 71 getting a piece of that turn 4 wall. Not sure if he had help. Oh.
See if
Sogak was very slow on quarter exit as well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Took him a while to get there on the front straightaway, but he is...
I have an idea.
Oh, what is that idea?
Track is 133 for the start of this race. These guys are... It's greasy out here at Homestead.
Definitely starting to look greasy out there on the track. We'll see how these drivers handle it here, getting those tires warmed up to temperature, at least some decent operating temperature to make some sort of moves. But so far, single file for the first few cars. Reinhardt sitting in 5th. Beckner already up 2 spots to 4th.
Yeah, good work from the 28 of Beckner, moving on up onto the field. And right above, you can see there's already guys starting to experience the 2nd lane, the 3rd lane, all the way up near the wall, just trying to find any sort of grip they can very early on in this race at Homestead. As we look a little further back of that top 10, you see Curran, Jeremy Miller in the 30 trying that 3rd lane up on the outside, then even outside the top 10. Brad Slaughter in that 83 working that high lane in.
He was the first one that I saw after the start of the race really getting himself up there. Man, he's really loose off of turn 2 right there. Just don't know that he's gaining very much ground. Brad started, let's see, right in the wall. We got a problem. Ed Robertson way off the pace.
Take a look and see what the 64 is.
Spin behind him.
Trying to see what's going on. Woo. I think David
car of Garrett Grant just made an incredible save, Finian.
Take a look and see at your SimRat market replay what happened in turn 3. Oh, it looks almost like he took out the 64. I'm not sure if he got loose on entry or what happened, but that was a great save there.
Oh, and then at the tail end of that, you saw the 42 of Horn against the bumper.
That looked fairly intentional from my point of view.
So Garrett has come over to the radio and said, apologies, he locked up.
Oh.
Getting on the brakes, getting down into the corner. So I got on him a little too hard trying to get down in. Nonetheless, he nearly cleaned Ed Robertson out. I don't know what Connor Horn was seeing that he just almost drove through the 5, but Nonetheless, no yellow. We stayed green. Back to battle on track here between the 14 of Conor O'Kresick, Greg Mitchell rolling the top side now ahead of Brad Slaughter.
Yeah, interesting to see the dichotomy in these two lines that these drivers are running with Brad Slaughter there clipping, getting a piece of wall there in the background as he's running. And then behind him there, the pink and black car, that is Ricky Springer riding in the top lane, trying to make up some speed.
Yep, Springer just one spot shy of that top 10 as we go in sim with him now. He's got the VR headset in, so he's getting a full 360 panorama view inside the car and throughout the racetrack as you see the drivers up in front of him starting to go all the way up from the third lane where Slaughter is to the middle, to the bottom, where during the skirmish with the 5 of Garrett Grant, we actually saw a pass for the lead. Jake Matheson is the new race leader over Jake Nichols, who's given the bottom open to Travis Beckner. Not going to be enough, though, but you see those cars on the outside. They're starting to make up some ground. Greg Mitchell, Brad Slaughter working their way inside the top 10 as just outside this top 4, we have a battle for 5th going on as Jeremy Miller's now entering on that outside line, starting to move their way up.
Miller just ran the fastest lap on the racetrack, that last lap. About a 10th better than your leader. The 30 car is moving forward. We watched the 2 of Greg Mitchell now, or excuse me, that's not the 2. Who is that behind him? That is the 24 of Michael Kirkman pulled to the bottom on Ryan Hartz.
They're trying to make something work down there, but it looks like it's just not quite clicking at the moment for the 24. You see him getting freight trained quickly by the 14 on the outside of Conor O'Kresick. Tries to throw it in there, but that 14's going to win out. Then you see Brad Slaughter way up against the wall. And this is what you love to see. You mentioned, Eric, that oval refresh, the update iRacing, trying to improve the multi-groove racing, and we're seeing it in action full force here at Homestead.
I think it's a combination of factors, Finian. Not only are we getting that oval at a new dynamic track or fixed dynamic track, but say fixed, at least partially remedied. We still are fully uncertain of how it's going to play out until we may potentially see a new tire model somewhere down the line. But 133 on track temp is the hottest I think we've had all season at any racetrack. So these guys are absolutely, it must feel like they're on ice. They're not driving down in the Midwest in Oklahoma or Arkansas right now. If you saw those videos, it is these guys on a virtual Homestead-Miami Speedway just sliding around. Slaughter starting to get a little further away from the wall, Hunter. I don't know if he's searching for grip on the racetrack or he's afraid of getting himself up into the wall.
I was just about to ask, Eric, if that's going to affect the handling of the car this early on, especially with the tire wear on these mile-and-a-half tracks like Homestead. Because we saw the 2 of Mitchell and Brad Slaughter working their way on the outside. Then Mitchell kind of parked on the bottom as soon as the 30 of Jeremy Miller going up and using the outside lane.
Couple battles.
I'm not sure how it's going to play. I can tell you we can go 2 stops on fuel. We're expecting 58 to 63 laps tonight. A tank of gas, but tires is a different story. Homestead's always been one to chew tires. Oh, big moment there between the 83 and 3. But Homestead's always been one to chew the tires up and have a lot of fall off. So far, 12 laps into the race, 3/10 is about what we're seeing here, Finian.
Yeah, and started seeing some battles lower down the field there. We're seeing a battle for second. Travis Beckner hitting the white line on the exit of turn 2. Threw him off the track. Here comes Nichols trying to get back that second place spot. Beckner's been poking and prodding and trying to get that second place so he can control the race. Miller, you saw Solar for Racing, they were 1 and 2, and now it's at least Beckner's trying to make it Miller Racing 1-2 at the top of the standings.
Trying to do that in the race. As you can see, they're side by side going into turn 1. Matheson in front on the bottom, along with the 28 of Beckner, trying to get clear of that 73. But over there on the back, you see the 2 of Greg Mitchell fighting with the 1 of Seth Knoll for that top 5 spot. He's back on the outside lane as Jeremy Miller just in front of him has worked his way up to 4th, and O'Kresick up to 7th, Curran 8th, Slaughter 9th, and Ricky Springer has joined the top 10 as the battle continues inside Homestead-Miami.
Well, one car is starting to slide backward. I don't think he's wanting to slide backward like this, but he may be hanging onto his tires. He's running the bottom the entire time. Travis Beckner completes the pass on the 73 of Jake Nichols, put Miller Racing up to the 1-2 positions. You saw and Jake Matheson pulling out a line on straightaways. That actually is giving draft, just that little bit of draft to the 28. Helped him complete that pass. You see how well those 2 can manage the front of the race now. Just about 15, or clicking off our 14th lap right here. So we'll see. This is about the time where the tires are really going to start to batter and how well you've taken care of them.
Yeah, one driver I'm definitely looking at is Cameron Hearn, who has moved up 10 spots since the start of this race. Started back in 24th, up to 14th, and he's showing no signs of slowing down at the moment. But that makes me concerned. You talk about saving tires, especially when the track is so hot like this. You can easily, if you burn up the tires, you're going to be suffering for a lot of the rest of the stint. And so for Cameron Hearn, he's going to blow by Matthew Bell in the number 9. I'm just concerned that he might be pushing it a little bit too hard early on. Another driver in the similar boat, Cedric Hunter, he's also moved up a bunch of spots from 31st up to 16th already.
Yeah, biggest mover so far is that 13th of Cedric Hunter. I don't even think he got a qualifying lap in, or if he did, it was a not a great lap for the 13th, but he's making it work here in the race. Just 16 laps in, up 15 spots since the start, and you see the 83 of Slaughter on that outside, playing with the 4 of Hearn on the inside for the 12th spot.
We'll get on by, and there's Brad Slaughter sitting in 13th, and we're starting to see, we saw a bunch of drivers up there on right up against the wall, but it seems like they've all kind of migrated towards the middle lane of the racetrack instead. And are we a bit surprised by this, or this is kind of expected from it to see from them? I actually shouldn't say that too much. It's just Ricky Springer out there.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
We're going. No, you first.
All right. I was gonna let you. You guys gave me pole position for the pick of the race. All right. I was trying to share the love. I'm not surprised to see these guys migrating back toward the bottom of the racetrack. They're going to be looking for whatever line is providing the best lap time at this point. Not really too much passing is going to be seen. Probably for another, I'd say, 20 laps until the tires really start to wear out. As I say that, Jeremy Miller and Michael Cohan are going to make a race appearance here for the 6th spot. But these guys are going to identify who has the fast lap times right now and on what part of the racetrack are they running those fast laps. Right now, that is Seth Knoll in the 1 car on the bottom of the racetrack. We get a look at Michael Cohan's sign. I don't think we've checked in with this at all, Finian. What has he got rocking this week?
Jason Kelsey, I believe, is who he's referring to. Should be the marshal for the Daytona 500, just like he was at the Kansas City Chief game. I don't know what that's referencing. I'm going to act like I do.
It was from last night's game.
How did you not watch the game last
I don't
night?
watch football.
Well, not even that. It's all over social media, too.
I'm not on social media either.
Oh, well, he's the brother of Travis Kelce, the one dating Taylor Swift.
Oh,
and he was
wait. I think, okay, I did hear about this, yes.
Yeah. He was bare-chested in 15-degree weather, drinking beers in the stands with the fans. It was just a cool sight to see.
Did you guys happen to see the text message that came from, I believe, probably Jason's wife's parents that were watching the kids? Unless the kids were there at the game, I'm not sure.
I think the kids were watching at home, but I did see the text.
The text said Dad's boobs are out on TV, so I had a good chuckle at that one. And I don't think I'd find a way to fit that word on any other iRacing broadcast, but we get to do it here at the IRA Cup Series. We look at Cameron Hearn now going after, that is Matthew Bell, I believe, in the 9. These two battling away for the 12th position. Going back and forth. Cameron still liking that upper seam. Just don't know if that's the fast line at this point. Last lap for the 4 was a 35.22. Matthew Bell, 34.84. So 9 definitely faster than the 4.
Yeah, Bell had a flying run out of turn 4 last lap through and trying to make a dive, but couldn't quite execute and get it done, so he's going to have to sit back there. In 13th, a lot of the battling's dying down near the front, but more battling going on further on behind. Kwame Scott trying to move up a couple spots after starting way down the order. And Kwame now finally up a couple positions. He is currently up to P19 after starting in 27th.
Yeah, good climb up for the 99 of Kwame Scott. As right behind him, you saw Connor Horn move past Ed Robertson. Robertson going in the wrong direction, down 11 spots since the start. And another driver who's found his way outside the top 10 is the 3 of Ryan Hartz. He started 5th in the number 3 machine, and he's dropped all the way down to 6th. Eric, I'm not sure, but he's running 31 or 35 ones on the track compared to the leaders running 34 8s and 34 9s. It feels like he hasn't been aggressive at all and is kind of battling a tight handling race car.
I'm not sure what's going on here. He almost ended up 4 wide right as we picked up that camera shot. And they may still end up 3 wide with the way things are going. See the 4 really back to 9 up there on the top. That's going to give Blaze McKinney a run on the bottom. But yeah, the 3 not moving forward. He's down 6 spots. Not the moves he's wanting to make right now. See what he can do. But Matthew Bell is going to rip the top side now. You got Cameron Horn going to the bottom, pinching the 87 down on the racetrack.
Getting tight here in the middle of the field for these drivers. Everyone jumps for position. I think we're starting to see some guys fall off. Starting to see some guys jump up. Seth Knoll getting just past the 28. Travis Beckner not quite finished yet, though. Here they come back on the front straightaway. Beckner going to fight back hard on the inside lane. Gets a great run off of 4.
Almost on cue, Hunter, that you talk about Seth Knoll, you know, he's losing spots. He's probably saving the tires, hanging on for something later. And here he comes. Pressure on the 28 car. We got contact in the back. The 4 and the 87 are nearly wrecked.
Yeah, I was about to say, they almost came together in the middle of turn 2 that last time around, but that's what happens when you're fighting for valuable spots on the racetrack. Battle for 14th heating up as we take a look at the Sim Market replay.
They were fighting for quite a while. Ooh, and both drivers fighting for the same piece of racetrack, and it's really tough here. Great save from Cameron Earn. You saw a couple wiggles there. Amazing that he's able to hang on to that thing. Considering it's so slick out there, you get that death wobble, and you just try to recover. And they're still battling here for second place. This battle has not died down.
Yeah, this is almost on cue, like you mentioned, Eric, with the one of Seth Knoll. But not only that, but look at who the top 2 are. It's Miller Racing, and then 3rd and 4th are Solar Flare Racing. Solar Flare just took over as the team leader standings for the team side of things. Just 3 points separating those 2. And again, for points to count for those, it's the top 2 drivers of that organization. So the best of Miller Racing and Solar Flare Racing going at it inside the top 4.
We're 26 laps into the race. We're working lap 27, and saw the 1 definitely fall back. I don't know that the 73 really fell off too much in pace. He did a little bit. Obviously, he's now behind the Miller Racing guys, but those 2 coming back toward the front. The 1 of Seth Knoll looks like he's going to finally complete that pass on the 28. Patient to get by. Meanwhile, back here, Ryan Hartz is moving up the racetrack to see if he can make something out of this. Cedric Hunter on the move. Runs the 9 car up the racetrack, Finian.
Yeah, Jim making some moves, trying to get up there. He's up to 13th. He's had a really impressive climb forward. Almost kind of wondering why you almost imagine what he can do if he actually got a qualifying lap down, because he's looking really quick here at Homestead. Matthew Bell with the wiggle, and does he save it? Comes back right onto the track. He will save it. That definitely deserves a Simram Market replay.
Car control from the 9 and Matthew Bell, and these guys are approaching 30 laps on their set of tires, Eric. Gotta imagine after that, he might be making a pit stop soon.
Right there, you see that? As he put the throttle down, trying to get down the backstretch, saw the wheels start that orange tape. That's center. If you're holding it straight up and down, saw it come a little to the right. That means he was counter steering for the slide he was in, and not what you want to be feeling in the race car, especially 30 laps in on tires. Nearly 30 laps in on tires. Speaking of, I'd call it 17 laps until we see pit stops. If you're splitting this evenly, you're doing 46 laps a stint here at Homestead. And, man, the 87 right on the right rear of the 3, drug him back and is going to get the run.
He's going to get the run, but you got to watch out for that 99 Kwame Scott. He's been on a tear forward as well. We talked about Cedric Hunter's climb. They're even on a bigger climb.
Saw that there with the 3 of Hearts and the 99 of Scott. A little contact there in the middle of turn 1. But nonetheless, still going strong as they're all speeding and banging. They are touching fenders here up for the 9th spot. Blaze McKinney and Ed Shearer Jr. Here comes the 99 of Kwame Scott. He's been working his way up through the field. Up 16 spots, looking to make it 17. Again, inside the top 10. Might have a 2-for-1 special going into turn 1.
Cedric Hunter and Kwame Scott must have been listening to some Miley Cyrus, because they are climbing up the leaderboard. Thank you. I will be here all week while you were seeing the race cars Tuesday and Thursday nights. I'm just impressed that the top is holding on as long as it is. You're going to see a big run right here from the 87. He'll clear the 99 with that huge run he got on the top side of the racetrack. So Blaze McKinney hanging on to that 9th place spot. They got a little ways to go now. A little gap has separated ahead of them. Greg Mitchell and Ricky Springer up the road, and then you get up to the top 6 that are all within a second and a half of each other. Further up the road with 3 of Ryan Hart starting to work the pace. Look at this run he gets on Jeremy Miller.
Huge run going off into turn 1, and everyone's still trying to find some sort of grip. The 30 a little bit loose there in the middle to high line. And there you see Ryan Hart's running that high line, trying to speak clear. Cedric Hunter, he gets back to 13th, and the 3 of Gray run off the corner. Will he do anything with it? Going to dive down low to the inside of the 30 in turn 3.
I think Jeremy Miller's going to be able to hold on to it unless he has a little bobble here on corner exit, in which he does, right on cue, and now he's still trying to battle control the car. That's going to allow Hearts to move up on the racetrack. Meanwhile, battle for 9th. Blaze McKinney on the outside, Kwame Scott on the inside. The 99 continuing to work his way up through the field, trying to go plus 18 since the start of this race, only 33 laps in. As they continue to duke it out a little further up the road, Travis Beckner is falling outside the top 5 all the way down to P6.
It is Finian. You called it. Used up his tires, and he's paying the price for it now in the back end of the run. He's just bleeding time to the leaders. The leader last lap, 35.18. Travis this past lap, 35.35. So about almost 2 tenths slower that lap. Not what the driver, the 28, wants to be seeing, but hey, that aggressive early may pay off. Unfortunately, it's not this time around. And we'll regroup after the pit stop's coming up here in approximately 10 laps. We'll see what he can do. First pit stop of the night goes to the the 67. Justin Anasogak. I don't know why he decided to short pit so much, unless he's going to try to 4-stop it. It's very early to pit for the 3-stop. Can make it, or excuse me, 2-stop. He can make it on one more stop, but he would be going nearly a full fuel stint here. So, scheduled maybe.
I mean, the thing is, I would say maybe it's worth it, but when you look at the lap times, the differential from their best lap to the previous lap, it's not that big. The leaders were running mid to low 34s. They're currently running in the mid to low 35s. That's a second of fall off. I mean, that's a decent amount, but that's not enough where I would maybe say an extra pit stops are worth it, especially if they're going to be coming in the next 15 or so laps. So, I mean, hey, we'll keep an eye on it. We'll see if it's going to be worth it. Cameron Hearn, I see dropping down the order, and that's because he's down on pit lane.
Second taker. So if you split this race into 4, you're doing 3 stops. That is 35 laps a stint. And so right on the number here for Cameron Hearn. Justin tried to short pit that a little bit. If you're only doing 2 stops, you're splitting the race in thirds, 46, almost 47 laps a stint. So a lot of these guys looking like they're going to go with the 2-stop strategy. I applaud the effort for these guys in the 3-stop strategy. Maybe they can make it work. The biggest thing they're going to want right now, no yellow. No yellow till they cycle out to where they can be on the lead lap and safe. And everyone else has to pit, and maybe they can stay out to get the track position, but the tires just fall off so quick. So we're over a second to fall off now, 30 plus laps into the run. Like you said, I don't know if the delta's there. There are engineers and simulations way smarter than me that will be able to tell us specifically whether that would work or not.
Yeah, just taking a look here at Brad Sauter. And remember, guys, not too long ago, we saw him fighting up there with the leaders, and now he's falling all the way back down to 21st. And I think one of those drivers that might have turned on the booster jets a little bit too early in the run.
You can watch the 67 blow by him on the bottom here, out there.
Oh yeah, just a wee bit too early for that 83 of Slaughter. I was questioning whether that was going to help in the long run, and it actually did not help the 83 at all. And David Wise started, haven't focused on him yet. He started around 29th and is only up to 22nd after almost 40 laps of completion here in the Factor 210 at Homestead-Miami. Looks like he's really fighting that race car. You could just see the steering wheel there on the sim camera. He is battling a very loose race car.
Taking a look at Bryce Senizak, too, is also just a position behind him in 23rd. But actually, both these guys have had decent races from where they started. They're both up 7 spots apiece. So they're slowly but surely working their way up the order. And if anything, it might benefit them here on this longer run As I see more and more drivers coming down to pit lane, I think. Or no, there's Jeremy Miller in the wall with heavy damage to the right side of that car.
Off of turn 4. Matthew Bell has got around. Oh, Brad Slaughter almost nailed him.
Whoa!
Wow, what a
save it,
from the
save
83. Oh, and the 9 almost pulled up in front of Blake Hoppy as well.
All right, well, that's a lot to unpack here as
yellow.
the caution will fly for the first yellow of the night. Let's see what happened here. We've got a small preview of that as to what happened here. Well, there's a 30 up slow on the wall. We'll see what happened to him. But this is the cost of the caution. The 88 getting in behind the 9, hit him from the rear. Around he goes. And he locked it down to stop in the middle of the track. Well, there's Brad Slaughter there going for the evasive miss. Trying to see where Brad Slaughter is on the track. And he did save it, but we'll definitely take a look and see what he saw.
I'd love to know what happened to the 30. He just planted that thing in the wall. Not sure if he had a hardware issue.
You already see Slaughter loose. Whoa. Look at that.
Kept that straight, but yeah, huge blow there to the 30 of Jeremy Miller. Not sure what happened to him, but and I think he might be right, Finney. It might be a hardware issue because he was just all up in the wall there.
Oh, that's, I think, definitely a hardware issue. He went straight right into the wall off the corner. Right on board here and see the oh no, he just got loose and tried to save it.
Yeah, I was just about to say too. I think the 17 of Shearer Jr. just in front of him, he had that same sort of snap back into the outside wall. But no, I don't think it's a hardware issue. Seems like he's still going, but just significant impact with that outside wall as most of the guys coming in for their first pit stop of the night.
There we go, everyone getting, of course, 4 fresh Goodyears on their car and fueling up for the next run of the race. And actually, Eric, how early was this, or was this kind of closer to what we expected them to get at?
Oh, he just came back. He was just getting updates from pit road, seeing what different guys are doing on different strategies as Matheson comes out with the lead. Michael Curran up to second. Eric, what'd you get from pit road?
Hang on 1 second here. I went and listened to 609 Motorsports to see if I could get the answer on Jeremy Miller, but unfortunately he wasn't talking. Skylar Shackelford was on a profanity-laced tirade, very upset with the race control call that he was the trigger for Matthew Bell going around. So I'm not sure totally why he's upset, other than he said the 9 got loose in front of him. I did make that out, but not safe for those younger listeners, so we're not going to play that one back on the broadcast.
Did something happen to Connor Horn? I see him off the track and not
He
back
has left the session.
Oh.
He also was not in the Discord when I went down there, so I'm not sure what's up with the 42.
Oh, maybe he had maybe start and park, potentially? Maybe? I don't know. Hopefully everything's okay in the 42 camp.
Love to get some more info there, because
is he in the session?
No, he left.
No, he has left the session.
Yeah.
But I think we saw him run someone over early in the race, or got into someone. Regardless, yeah, I'm not sure what's up with the 42 there. We get our little reset here. Finian with Jake Matheson holding the lead over Jake Nichols.
Yeah, he's doing a solid job up there in the front of the field, Jake Matheson. Not a whole lot of drivers been able to challenge him tonight. I mean, and it's been the story for this season, right? He's come out of essentially nowhere for the Area Cup Series and has shown that he is definitely not one to be reckoned with. He's been able to put up with Jake Nichols at the front of the field, also as well with Travis Beckner, James Scioli, who I know actually just realizing we're missing tonight. I felt like we were missing some driver. Scioli not present here. But Matheson's been able to go toe-to-toe with them all season long.
Just out of our frame, you might be able to see a little bit there. Road racing wheel, I think, is what Jake has mounted on his...
yeah, that is definitely a Formula wheel. I think that's the same one, the Formula V 2.5?
It has a Fanatec logo on it, but that's unfortunately out of frame for our broadcast.
Oh, wait, no,
I can see it on the Zoom call.
That's one of the other Formula wheels, actually. I can see the yellow nubs on the right side of it. But, yeah, that is definitely a road racing style wheel. Which is interesting because I've tried to do oval racing just with the stock car, and it just doesn't feel right with the open wheel rim.
The first that I think of, Hunter, when I see that is Bobby Zielinski does that in the NASCAR Coca-Cola iRacing series as well.
Good old Bobby Zielinski. Yeah, it's an interesting steering wheel to be having, especially for an oval race, but he makes it work because he's gotten a couple wins this season by doing just that, not only in Cup, but has won in the Truck Series and in the Pro Series as well. As we're coming up on this restart, Finian, about to cross lap 44, less than 100 to go here in the Factor 210.
Yeah, just want to really quickly thank our replay sponsor, Simrad Market. Race fans, just head over to simradmarket.com for our custom iRacing paint scheme templates that are simple to use, simple and easy to use, so you can stay more focused on the racetrack at simradmarket.com. Here as the field comes down to take the green. First restart of the night. We're back green here at Homestead. Matheson leading him on down to turn one. How about Connor Okrezik? A great restart in that outside lane. He's also going to take over second place.
Second place was Thorne for Connor Okrezik there on that last restart last week at Richmond. Time to jump it, and ended up costing him a second place finish. Went all the way down in the low 20s for his finish. So not showing that he wanted to put out and wanted to bounce back here. Running in second though at Homestead-Miami as the cars fan out to the outside wall in 3 and 4.
Scott doing a great job there in the fifth place after starting back in 27th. He's up near the field, effectively doing what he probably could have done in qualifying. Unfortunately, wasn't able to get a good lap in. So had to do all the work out on the racetrack, but he's finally up there with the leaders and ready to go toe-to-toe. And even Blaze McKinney's up there, too. We're talking about him a bit lower in the points. He's, I think, 20th or 19th in the points and needs to put some good points up on the board. Trying to look to the inside of Kwame Scott. They had a bit of toe-to-toe action before this caution.
Blaze McKinney came in, gaining the most positions after Richmond, +6, got himself onto the top 20, just made it onto the graphic. That special thank you to Elwood Designs and Alan Elwood for providing those week in and week out for Sin TV and here all those of us here at Area. And Blaze is trying to make this late playoff push. He's got himself in position for tonight. Up here running inside the top 10. Kwame Scott making moves.
87 making moves on Kwame Scott, almost put him in the wall there from a little bit of a bump on behind. I'm getting a little bit nervous of that after what we saw with Scott Shackelford. Oh, and there he goes, hard like into the wall. Kwame Scott around, big wreck off of turn 4. And just as I was saying it, we saw what happened with the previous caution with a bump in the middle of the corner with these cars such on edge.
They're still trying to avoid hitting each other going into turn 1.
Dom DeLeo was on a beeline for Blaze McKinney. I don't know how he missed him. I'd love to ride on board with that one. But, yeah, not sure what triggered it other than Kwame Scott just totally out of shape. We get a little help here from the 87. It does look like so.
Yeah, definitely had help from the 87. And then into the 73 of Jake Nichols. I think Greg Mitchell was the one that sent McKinney back into the racetrack after the two made contact. But, yeah, that was huge right there, Finian.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It was so similar to the previous wreck we just saw. And just that little tap off the corner, and around he went hard. Nichols catching a piece of that as well with the 87. The 2 of Greg Mitchell, I think he was able to continue on. Jake Nichols was around. And I think who we're trying to say you're trying to get a view from, Eric?
I would like 2 onboards. I would like the 3 of Ryan Hart's because this happened right in his lap. And then also Dom DeLeo missing Blaze McKinney at the end of the race, or end of the wreck. Was a pretty wild one as well. So this is going to happen right in front of the 3, about 3 rows ahead there. You'll see right there's the contact between the 87 and 99. Damn, on the brakes, on the brakes. Wow. He's still got a car coming up across. No, they held it down.
And who else? Who else?
The 22 of Dom
The 22, Dom DeLeo, barely missed Blaze McKinney as they were slowing down for the wreck.
Down a little bit further down the order here, you can see the spin, the smoke cloud, the cars around, everyone trying to avoid. Looks to the inside, almost gets hit by the 64 there. And then right
here.
Oh.
Shout out Don DeLeo, getting himself slowed down, avoiding the incident.
And just like that, we're under pacing for our second caution here tonight. Again, Factor sponsoring the race here for the Factor 210 here at Homestead-Miami. Of course, all 3 series is going to be here at Homestead-Miami, and I am so happy with that. Of course, unfortunately, I won't be, even though I'm happy about that, won't be covering Tuesday and Thursday. Kyle will be back for those rounds as well with Hunter and Connor. And I got to say, this Homestead-Miami, one of my favorite tracks on the service.
one of my favorite tracks in general. Just everything about it is perfect. You're talking about the scenery with the sunsets, the palm trees, and it's in Homestead, Miami, just a little bit away from regular Miami, but and the racing itself, I mean, this track is just picture perfect. Talking about progressive banking, got good grooves on the bottom, the middle, the top, which is the preferred groove, and you're trying to Larson line it, and you're not trying to scrape the wall, trying to get as much speed as you can, but you're flirting with disaster here whenever you have that type of multi-groove racing, Kyle, Eric. Wow. I'm sorry, Kyle. I'm so used to Kyle being here, okay? But, yeah, Eric, we saw it, what happens when you have multi-groove racing. All those guys trying to vie for third end up colliding and spinning out on the front stretch and could have created a bigger wreck.
Hi, guys. I'm Kyle. No, I'm kidding. Eric Wineland joining you here. So, yeah, there was a lot of complaint over the radio from Blaze McKinney as well. He felt he should not have been at fault for that incident. He thought the 99 was already sideways when he hit him trying to take avoidant action, but nonetheless,
everyone's really willing to argue with race control tonight, it seems.
Yeah, they are not happy with race control. I mean, shout out to right now tonight, Carter Coop, Ryan Olson as well, handling the race control duties, and thank you to all the race control members here in area who donate their time. They are not paid. Donate their time to help provide us with some great racing. So can't thank those guys enough for what they do for area and helping make us have a better environment for racing. Get to bring you guys here at Sim TV some even better content.
Yeah, it's a very thankless job being a series admin. I have been that task, and I have not ran a league since I've done that a couple years ago, because it's a lot of stress and a lot of work. I'm sure, Eric, as you can attest to, if you're an admin for which series, the Pro Series or the
I was for the Pro Series. I stepped away from that duty to race in it. So I now manage all the race control members. So I know who's where on what nights, including Carter and Ryan here tonight. Also, shout out Ryan Swan helping them out as well here late in the season. We get ready for the restart. Finian 51 complete. So 89 to go when they take the green. One stop from here. You got to manage those tires.
Yeah, it's going to be the big thing, though, is really more so than the fuel. The tire management going to be key for tonight. Back green here at Homestead. Matheson leading them away. Again, not as good of a start for the 14 as the 28 was in behind the 56. The teammates working together. Travis Beckner trying to secure that second spot. Okrezik still fighting hard on that outside lane.
Already working that third lane in is the 2 of Greg Mitchell. Good run going down the backstretch as he's looking to get past teammate Michael Curran in the 24. And there comes the 1 of Noel trying to close in on the 3 of Ryan Hartz as they're battling on the racetrack and rolling through turn 4.
Everyone fanning out using all the available racetrack possible. Ryan Hartz in behind. There is the 24, Michael Curran, trying to make some moves, make some headway on the bottom, riding that white line.
There's the onboard. You see just in front of the number 24, Michael Curran, as he's running in the 5th spot now, his teammate Greg Mitchell. Oh, too much about Greg Mitchell today. He was almost caught up in that accident, or could have been more damage on the 2, but just a little side swipe, nothing major for the Mitchell machine. Might have been some optional repair there. We don't know the further extent of that, but it's having a good showing inside the top 5. Oh, right in the back! Skylar Shackelford around.
Is around. He got pummeled by Jacob Bell and Justin Anasogak. We got our 3rd yellow of the evening. And that one looks like they came together off turn 4 yet again.
Let's see, turn 4 really calamity corner tonight. Bell getting into the 88 right there off the corner, and around he went.
Just in front of the 99 of Kwame Scott, almost getting a piece of that, but saw the 77 of Jacob Bell get loose there coming out of turn 4 and flipping that 88 car, and again, could have been a bigger wreck there.
Skylar Shackelford will be happy. He wasn't the cause of the incident this time for race control. Jacob Bell with a big moment right there, trying to save the race car, just drove it down into the 88. And yeah, that is wrong place, wrong time for the 88. 86 to go, boys. I don't know. I mean, we're limited on tire sets. We've only taken 1 set. You've probably run maybe 6 hard laps on these tires. They put them on 13 laps ago. I'm not coming to pit road if this were me. I would save that extra tire set yet for potentially later in the race, because at this point we're going to need them.
Yeah, I think it's definitely worth just staying out there for the track position. We'll see what the leaders do here as they're approaching pit lane. And I think majority are going to stay. I think we may see a couple takers near the back of the field because they don't really have a lot to lose. I feel the tire sets are worth it, but it looks like, thought Cedric Hunter wanted to go, but he, I guess, doing the little fake out there. And I saw Justin Ansoga go down, and Blaze McKinney going down there. Yeah, so he's trying to, again, make up spots after being caught up in an earlier incident. So a couple of takers near the back of the field. Jeremy Miller back there as well. And you can still see damage to the right side of that race car after his contact with the wall earlier on, after running so well inside the top 5.
Hey, Hunter, I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
You know what this yellow allows?
What does it allow?
They're going to dump more South Beach heat on the racetrack and make it even hotter.
Ooh. Ooh. Oh, yeah, I see what you did there with the... And that's actually fitting because South Beach Heat, flavor of hot sauce from Rick's Hot Sauce, it's made locally in South Florida. So this is a hometown race, I guess, if you're Rick's Hot Sauce, but it's unfortunate that the Seven of Sky is not here. But be sure to check out rickshotsauce.com for, once again, some of the best hot sauces made locally in South Florida. As there you see the Rick's Hot Sauce car over there. Try the Loxahatchee Classic, the Golden Garlic, Palm Beach Pineapple, or South Beach Heat fitting for this week. And make sure to follow the Rick's Hot Sauce Rookie of the Year battle in the Area Cup Series to see which driver will take home the $100 prize as the highest finishing rookie in points. We don't have the Seven of Sky, which has the South Beach Heat colors, but
very
we do have the regular Rick's Hot Sauce machine from Ed Robertson in the 64.
Picked the worst week to take off for James Kiley. Could have needed him when we needed him most. He vanished.
Oh, man, you breaking out the old cartoon quotes right there.
Hey, also, speaking of which, too, for those who don't know, the live-action series is coming on February 22nd.
Ooh, I'll be interested to watch that.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, the Rick's Hot Sauce Rookie of the Year battle is currently being led by our points leader, Jake Matheson. He is brand new to area, although he has plenty of experience here on iRacing. This is his first full season as part of the area ranks, so...
Yep, you can see his rookie stripes right there.
By de facto being the points leader, he is also the Rookie of the Year points leader, so we'll continue to watch this battle. He's going to be in the playoffs, as well as actually probably, I'd say, maybe 2-3 rookies. It depends. Casey Lakatos, also a rookie area, can get himself on that run to get into the playoffs. We'll see what the 50 car can do. He's got himself in a good spot right now. He's not too far down the order. P19, he's that slow and methodical work forward, Hunter, like you documented earlier on in the race. That 50 car is coming forward.
And not to mention, he's doing all this without a top 10 on the season. Average finish of 19th after an average start of 25th so far for Casey Lakatos there. And like I said, 14th in the standings, just a few points shy. If he can keep this up and stay out of trouble, he might have a shot at making the playoffs.
Hey, I think we're joined by a 4th member here, Finian.
Are we?
Yeah.
Oh, it's the actual Kyle.
I am
no
here.
more mistaking Eric for Kyle, Hunter. You got Kyle here now.
Well, I'm sorry to throw off everyone's balance. I've been there before, Hunter. Don't worry about it. Oh, yeah, sorry about that. Work complications this week. Was just doing a live stream on the Grid Life channel, so I'm kind of double dipping a little bit, but I'm back and ready to join you guys with, looks like, 80-ish laps to go? 83?
Yeah, just about. We've had a string of yellows recently. We had actually had a really good, solid, 40-lap run almost of a green flag racing from the start of the race. Had 3 cautions in quick succession, so a whole lot of turn 4.
So that's part of the racetrack.
Just for clarity, I will continue to let you guys lead the show, and I'll jump in post Eric. So we'll insert myself backwards into the action.
Unless we see him down on pit road.
Unless we see him on pit lane. Get out of here, Eric.
You'll see me back and forth. We're getting ready for the restart here. 82 to go, Finian. I'm excited to see what the Miller Racing Group can do up front.
Yeah, Solarfilla leading the race to the green, and now for the restart, it's going to be Miller Racing in the front row. Green flag back out in the air. Matheson taking away, and there we see Seth Noel immediately making a move to the inside, 3 wide into turn 1.
Not wasting any time, wanting to get inside that top 5, and looks like he'll do just that as more drivers on the outside starting to get going. As Travis Beckner, good run here off turn 2. But behind him, you see the 2 of Mitchell behind teammate Michael Curran and the 3 of Harsh trying to re-enter the fray.
It's actually a bad decision from the 28 right there. He went to the top on the restart trying to build the run. It didn't work. He lost second place to Connor O'Kresick. You see Kwame Scott get out of shape there on the top side. He's going to try to roll his momentum forward after getting that incident 2 yellows ago.
Yeah, was that Kwame Scott? That went up way high. Yes, it was in the 99. He was almost in the fence in turns 3 and 4, but he managed to keep it out of it. The walls can get sticky here, and you want to be right up against it to find speed. Little touch there at the exit of turn 2 with the 5 of Garrett Grant.
And Garrett Grant, we saw he was around for the first caution, or one of the first. Actually, no, it wasn't for a caution. He was around on his own. Didn't have a caution to help, but now finally going to get back into things. Now up inside the top 15, but it is an absolute cluster of cars near the front. They're going at it on this restart.
Oh, someone went sliding down the front straightaway in the background there. That was James Shanewolf. He had a big moment out of turn 4.
Take a quick look at your sim market for it. Whoops. Wrong button there. This is the run out of turn 4 for James Shanewolf, and we've seen it be so difficult for some of these drivers of getting into the wall and just managed to avoid any other spin besides that.
Yeah, not been a good day for the Shane Wolf machine, but we're nearing halfway, so things can change. And my, oh my, look at this shot coming out of turn 4. He's in the wall again, Shane Wolf is, but wow, they are 3 wide, packed deep going into turn 1. The 2 of Mitchell riding that outside line, and the 51 of Springer. He's been making that outside lane work, but they're in multiple rows of 3 wide coming through turn 2 and down the back.
I tell you what, they're going to paint the wall whatever color Greg Mitchell wants it, because that's what he is doing right now, Kyle. He is ripping the fence. He's done it every restart, and the 2 is coming back toward the front.
Yeah, the 4 Cameron Hearns ripping the fence as well just behind this. It's been really fun to watch the multiple lanes. I've only been here for a couple minutes, but I can tell it's been an exciting one with race cars from the bottom all the way to the top. But that outside lane is such a critical area. If you can find speed up there, you're going forward.
Definitely can, as we've seen the 51 and the 2, both of them up there near the top of the field, using that outside lane, using it to make some runs off the corners. A little bit of a bobble there from the 3. Seth Noel all the way to the white line, trying to make some moves here, get back inside second place. If he can get past Connor Kresick, he will do so. And now trying to take a look at the 56 of Jake Matheson.
Lights are scraping the wall. Oh my gosh, yeah, these guys are having a handful coming out of the turn just in front of Connor O'Kresick, or behind, I should say. Springer on the outside, Beckner in the middle along with Hartz. There you got Jake Nichols on the outside now with David Weishart, who hit the wall in turn 4. All right, but you can just see handful there on the steering wheel for Weishart.
Look at the intensity on his face. This is what running the top line can be like. You got to be pinpoint perfect, Kyle. Not let the tires slip it all up here. Otherwise, you're going to heat him up and wear him out early, like we saw Brad Slaughter do in the first run of the race.
I've never seen cars in iRacing run as close to the walls I'm seeing tonight. I wonder if that has something to do with the next-gen steering rack. It's a lot quicker, I think, so you can get right up against that fence and make those minute adjustments, and they have a much bigger reaction, so you can get right up against the outside wall like the 33 is. You wouldn't dare try this tomorrow or Thursday. You just would lose the rear end of the car and smack the fence.
You will be surprised what you will see us do Thursday night.
Look at these guys continue to battle, and up for the lead. There's Seth Noel with the move, trying to take it, usurp it from the 56, who's been dominant all race long. And new leader for Solar Flare Racing, Seth Noel across the line.
Really been Miller Racing or Solar Flare Racing for the most part of this race, and Seth Noel now taking the reins, putting the 1 car in the 1 spot, and there you see the 73 of Jake Nichols trying to get even further on the outside from the 51 of Ricky Springer. These guys are working their way inside the top 10, now about to crack the top 5. Bring them Springer to the inside of Greg Mitchell, looking for 5th into turn 3.
It's a great camera shot there. You can see how close these guys are flirting with that wall, lap after lap. Ooh, and I think the 33 flirting with it a little bit too much, catches the wall. Gonna get passed by the 4, Cameron Hearn and Matthew Bell, trying to see if he can get past.
Wonder how much.
Beckner.
28 in the wall. He drug it a little bit there. So why is the wall so enticing? Well, there's more banking up here, guys, so that you can get a little more speed across the top. But if you carry just a little too much speed, like we saw the 28 do right there, you're going to end up with the right side in the wall. And like Kyle said earlier, It's glue. It'll just slow you down.
Oh, the three's in the fence pretty hard there as well. I don't think that the wall strikes are as consequential as they have been in the past either with this new damage model. The right side of the cars, especially on these composite bodies, are a little stronger. So I think that has a component as well where you can kind of scrape the wall. It's not just going to dent the steel in and then you're slow for the rest of the race. You can bounce off it once, twice, thrice and still walk away okay. So maybe that's reducing the fear factor a bit.
While we're watching that battling, Jake Matheson is taking the lead as quickly as he lost it. Seth Knoll back to second place now. So Jake Matheson showing that he can definitely turn on the afterburners if he needs to. Up at the front, and then in behind it is Travis Beckner trying to see if he can catch back up after losing a couple spots after making contact with the wall. Jake Nichols to the inside of Ricky Springer, duking out 5th place.
73 working top, middle, bottom now is trying to work his way back inside the top 5 after that spin just about 15, 20 laps ago. Still trying to recover from that.
Beckner just ahead of that. Sorry, Hunter Beckner popped out of line really late and chucked it in on the inside of Seth Knoll, made the pass, but that was an aggressive move there to dive up the inside and complete it. Well done, well executed, just kind of came out of nowhere.
Because he felt now was the time to move, and here it is going to be something similar, teammate versus teammate, Jake Nichols, Seth Knoll, exchanging positions. I think they're looking a lot more planned. I think the one saying, go on, go get him.
Yeah, this is about normal for Kyle, who might have missed the first 60 laps of this race. It's literally been Solar Flare Racing versus Miller Racing. These two, Jake Matheson, Beckner for Miller Racing, and then Jake Nichols and the one of Seth Knoll, the one last week at Richmond. They've been inside the top 4, duking it out for the majority of this race. Here comes Okrezik trying to close in and make it a 5-car race for that top spot on the racetrack.
Hasn't that been the story all season, these two teams? It's just
pretty much
the story tonight.
Yeah, they're coming into tonight. Solar Flare, they actually just usurped Miller Racing at the top of the team standings by 3 points. So it's very tight up there as you see Beckner sailing past Jake Nichols, who's been trying to make a move on that inside lane to no avail. It's 28's been pretty much the only one now out there at the moment on that top lane. Now more drivers going to the middle.
I've heard the word usurp twice tonight, and I like it. It's a good word. Usurp.
Finian is expanding everyone's vocabulary tonight.
I was
really
gonna say,
educating our viewers very well.
I picked up a real book for the first time in a couple of years. I already am like, I should use this word. I really do think reading helps, and I have not done that in like 5 years. So.
I still have not done it in 5 years, so you're better than me in that department. Cedric Hunter here working in behind Ryan Hartz, and actually he's getting passed by Cameron Hearn. And Hearn's been poking his nose here and there in that number 4 machine. Hasn't quite been able to get past around the 10th place or so.
Still trying to find his way through the
up
season
in front.
one winner
Hello.
here.
Travis Beckner in the lead. Jake Nichols trying to pass the 50s. I can't look away from these guys. Every time I look away, there's a new person in front.
So why is this happening? Well, so Beckner's just running his tires harder right now. I don't know if Matheson maybe hurt his stuff trying to drive back into the clean air once Seth Knoll challenged him. But Beckner's really working his tires very hard. He's 32 laps when he crosses the line here since he bolted them on. I'd discount maybe 6 laps, 8 laps off of that for yellow running. So all 30 hard laps. But Jake Nichols last on pit road 25 laps ago. So he's got slightly fresher good years on that 73 machine in the rearview mirror of the 28. So Jake's going to do everything he can to get that clean air so he can try to drive away. The 28's going to try his best here to hold him off. One on the bottom now. He ran the top to get out there to the lead. He's back at the bottom of the racetrack as we watch Kwame Scott battle away with Michael Curhan here. 99 and 24.
I've been told by people in the know that Travis is making race car noises in the other room. Vroom, and he takes the lead. don't have so much fun.
Hey, let's get our audio on the Zoom call. That's the next step.
You don't want me to turn that on, I don't think.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't
Unless
think
you want to be the one full-time bleeping. That's kind of your job already.
You need to find a. All right.
That's one more thing I got to do.
And here comes Jake Nichols. Great run out of turn 2. He's going to try to throw a move to the inside, and haven't seen that 73 up in the lead. He's been trying. As Beckner catches the wall, I think it's going to be a sealed deal. The 73, Can he slide up in front and seal it? He cannot. Beckner coming back hard off of turn 4 will get across the line first.
Leave that lap after making contact, and now Nichols is like, all right, I'm going to try it. He's going to try the outside. He's going to hit the wall. Boom. I'm not sure if it's going to propel him into the lead or get him a run, because here comes Matheson to the inside. But he saw that it worked for Beckner. He's going to continue to try and do that until he gets clear of the 28. But for now, Beckner holds on to the lead in turn 3. Here comes Nichols to the outside.
So Jake hauled off in there way too much speed. You saw him have to give up so much on entry just to make sure he didn't clobber and knock the wall down. So that killed his momentum off the corner exit, and that led the 28 back to the front. Connor Okrezik, meanwhile, going at it here with Seth Knoll. And I'm interested here, Kyle. Seth Knoll's the only one that's not getting off the white line. He wants to be in that bottom groove. We saw it pay off in the first run, but it was after like 35 laps that we finally saw him start to really make ground up. So he's trying to do it again. I just don't know that there's enough time left in this race for him to make that ground.
Yeah, I think at this point, we're past halfway. You have to start moving into the, the cancel the experiment stage, right? You've done it enough times now. You know when and how good it works, and you have to start looking at everybody else, because this race is going fairly green. Don't want to jinx it, but it's running pretty green, and you're going to run yourself out of time. I know I did, but
I had a caution about 3 laps.
Well, someone's got to be exciting. And it's me.
We are not too far from green flag stops as well, guys. So they bolted these tires on about 30, 35 laps ago, with 62 remaining when we touch the start-finish line right here. Yeah, the fuel window has opened up. I don't think you want to take the tires quite yet until you get closer to halfway between the 2 runs.
People are putting tires on? People have been putting tires on tonight? They're wearing out?
I mean, you're going to need...
Not as much as we would want to see at Homestead. So, leader last lap, 34.97. Ricky Springer and Ryan Hart's coming close together there with Cameron Hearn. Leader last lap, 34.97. Their best lap for Jake Nichols, 34.25. So, just about 3/4 of a second to fall off so far.
Not a lot, but I think once you got 20, 30 laps on the tires, you're going to want a big wiggle for the 33. Wow, he was just kind of got put in the fence on the back straightaway in that Ryan Hart's battle. And then watch this out of turn 4.
Whoa.
You probably want to ride in sim with him here as well live, because, man, the counter steering that the 33 is doing, especially when he runs the top lane, is hurting his right rear. He's going to put too much heat in that thing and get himself very loose.
Well, unlike in the Daytona 24 for me, he was actually able to save it from the wall.
You see, that steering wheel is centered in the middle of the corner. That is wild. Turn right to go left.
Yeah, it makes me really nervous. I mean, turning right to go left while millimeters away from the wall is definitely
dangerous. Did Beckner just get the fence down there?
If not, he got awfully close to it. I'll take a look and see what's going on with the 28 machine. He's starting to struggle here at the moment.
I was looking at him in Zoom right as you said that, and his wheel was bouncing up and down. I don't think he has it mounted perfectly well either. It moves around a lot in his camera. We've noticed that and documented it in a couple weeks now. But yeah, he's got a 3D force feedback, baby. He's got a makeshift motion simulator right there.
Motion of the ocean.
I'm always amazed. Every time I look at it, it looks like it's like ready to fall off at any given time. But it works for him. Look at that laser focus. The eye's not moving a bit. Wheels moving a lot, the eyes not
if he just bolted that thing down.
This man a sim rig.
I was going to say, if he bolts that wheel down, this kid would be unstoppable.
Battle for the lead. Dick Matheson going around the 73, and he will take his throne back.
I don't think you want to be the leader of this race. The way the lead changes are happening, Hunter.
Oh, Cameron Hearn, I see him slow and dropping down the order. It's because he's going down pit lane.
Oh boy.
And pit stops coming up. The 4 and the 67 making their way on with less than 60 to go here. But yeah, a couple laps to go. McKinney caught the wall. The 33 of Weishart still fighting control of that race car. And just behind the 1 of Knoll, you see the 24 of Michael Curran go down to the inside of Beckner, looking for 4th, as Nichols is going to let his teammate Seth Knoll go take 2nd away. So Nichols holds the podium spot. Meanwhile, on board with Okrezik, trying to work his way back inside the top 5 to the outside of Curran, going in the 1.
Trying to make some moves, looking to the outside, make moves where they can, where the runs are going, and Mike Curran stuck on that bottom lane. Side by side off the corner, he will just be able to get on by, and Curran will peel him back for 6th place.
It's not separating as much as I thought they would. after 30 laps now, 40 laps on some tires. Everybody first through 24th is within a second of the car ahead of them or less. So almost 7 seconds blankets the top 24 right now. So, I mean, there's some separation, but not as much as I was expecting here. Cedric Hunter, man, he's going after it on the bottom here of the 99 machine. Tommy Scott.
Yeah, these two have been going at it for a couple of laps back and forth. Oh, big wiggle for it's at the 3 behind him. Again at a turn 2 as the tires start to burn off. I don't know that they're going to lose performance. As we've noted with this next-gen car, they're going to lose 3/4 of a second to a second, but I think the stickiness wears off. They're still quick, but they get harder to drive on after a certain amount of time. I think we're starting to enter that stage now as Tommy is going to lose that spot and drop back now to 8th place.
Aboard Ricky Springer. He's been, anyone that's been enjoying the top lane as the caution is now.
We have a problem behind
Jeremy Miller.
Jeremy Miller.
He is around out of turn 4.
Yeah.
See what happened on our SimRap market replay, and he was all by his lonesome.
Yeah, it'll be a classic case of just losing it in turn 4, or might have been losing it right there. Cars have been a handful in that, and turn 4s have been a problem spot, and clips the apron and back into the outside wall.
I think he almost had it saved, but when he hit the apron, it just steered the car straight back to the outside. And he was also heading straight for the pit wall attenuator, so it was kind of a lose-lose there for the 30, I think.
Yeah, this is actually a very similar how I wrecked in the Daytona 24. Overcorrected and outside wall.
I never did see what happened.
It was similar to this, basically.
Okay,
a lot more damage. Our car was destroyed on the front end, back end. It was pretty bad. His car looking a lot better.
Well, didn't have any downforce either, but.
I was looking forward to some green flag stops there, unfortunately.
You got robbed of it again. We'll get some more stops under caution here as everyone's coming on down.
You're going to see both sides of the car jacked up and as much fuel as you can pack in. We're just inside. Well, he just pitted, remember, on green.
Oh, right,
so
yes.
He's got to stay out for a wave around here. He will be back on the lead lap now, staying out for the wave around, but we're just inside the fuel window, guys. So remember I said 58 to 63 laps. We're at 53 laps remaining as they cross the stripe while coming down pit road. So everyone can make it on fuel from here. It's a matter of how well can you take care of these 4 good years you're putting on right now. And a couple guys are still going to have 1 set lane in the pits. A few are going to have 2. So some aggressive strategies still can be made here. Watch the race off pit road. Who's going to get out first? Seth Knoll is going to win the race off pit road ahead of Jake Matheson, Connor Okrezik, and Jake Nichols. And then Michael Curran gets out P5.
Yeah, money stop time. And then this restart is going to be critical as well as we start winding the laps down. About 50 laps to go. And it's going to get pretty spicy, I think. And, we saw the racetrack get wide on the previous restart. I'd expect people to be running clear down to the
you can do
southernmost city in Florida.
Hey, is it
a little cold there? I don't think so.
Is it a little cold there in Chicago?
Cold.
I was going to say, it doesn't sound like you're shivering.
Well, when I left the office, Adam Jabay, the motorsports director of Grid Life, told me to be careful. And I got in my car and pulled out onto the road and immediately ABS because it is freezing rain out here right now. It's actually as warm as it's been the last couple of weeks. It's like 35-ish, but the rain is freezing and hitting the ground and then kind of solidifying a little bit. And now it's wet, and then it's going to deep freeze overnight. So it's going to be a sheet of ice.
Did you wear your shop.areaiRacing.com jacket?
Yes.
But fans, no need to fear. Winter is here. Bundle up for this season with shop.areaiRacing.com merch. Shop for all the newest selections of champion hoodies, jackets, sweatshirts, and more. Easier to shop, quicker to ship, better to wear. That's shop.areaiRacing.com. Finian here in the Factor 210, getting ourselves reset for an upcoming restart.
Yeah, getting ready for an upcoming restart here in just a moment's time here. And if taking a look at actually how many cautions we've had so far for the race, I think 4.
That should be number 4.
Yeah, there we go, number 4. So what we have seen though is that cautions breed cautions. We had a great run, but similar to the start of this race, we had a great run at the beginning. Then we had a string of cautions. So I have a feeling, I'm no Larry Mack, but the trends of the race are looking like we might be in for a couple more cautions.
Trends of the race.
I miss Larry
Cautions breed cautions. I miss him too. They should bring him back.
I want to see him do like the Rolex or
McNuggets
something.
up your sleeve as well.
Yeah, I'd like to play Larry Mack. One of my favorite things in my professional career, because this isn't professional. Just kidding. When I got to do GR Cup commentary, I was not leading. I was actually the color announcer, and I really enjoy that role because when I'm doing broadcasts, I'm typically leading. And the GR Cup stuff, I'm kind of the Larry Mack of the GR Cup series, and it's really fun to get to throw in all the tidbits and facts and factoids and be that little bit of knowledge. And I do enjoy that role. So, and hopefully I'll be back on that this year as well. So, it's been a fun
keep
time.
your eye out, ladies and gentlemen. We may see Kyle Heyer make a few area starts to get himself some more information for the broadcast.
And maybe you'll see me near a famous mountain again come June.
Oh, is that official yet or no? It's
I mean, it is it's a thing.
Bathurst?
No. Famous American Mountain.
Famous American Mountain.
We were talking about that pre-race coverage.
That's true. We
I'm
were
not,
talking about
I'm not that good yet, so I won't get the Bathurst call for a couple
Mount
of
St. Helens.
I don't think you want to be there right now.
Well, we're in the flatlands of Florida. By drastic contrast here, as we're back green here with Seth Noel leading him on down. Jake Nichols a great start on the outside. Matheson down below, and Beckner back up to the top near the wall.
Boy, oh boy, back up to the wall indeed as he's trying to give a good shove to the 73 and Nichols down the back. Meanwhile, Noel and Matheson duke it out for the lead. They're 3 wide going into 3. Hart's in the middle of that. Cedric Hunter on the bottom, and then Ricky Springer. Here comes Blaze McKinney trying to find a 4th lane as they venture near the wall in turn 4.
Whoa, McKinney trying to, I'm not sure if he was trying to save it or block the 33, but he's in.
Right 4.
Cameron Hearn out of turn 4, guys.
Yeah, that did bring a yellow out. I was like, I didn't think it brought a yellow, but
I was trying to find where on earth he was in the order. Here's a look at your Sim Market replay of what happened on turn 4.
He was fading fast.
Whoa, and tell you what, that was a great spin to save it. Save it from the wall at the very least.
I can tell you exactly what happened. He cut underneath the 5, and the moment he did that, it was just too loose for him to hang on. To watch his wheel right here. So he makes the cut, and now he's turning a little too much right, and it just gets out of control for the 4 of Cameron Hearn. He has to lock it down. Pure away, and we drive away.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Need a new set of tires, but otherwise,
I was reading the race control chat, and I see the last couple self-spin EOLs, but I read it as self-spin LOLs. I was like, that's kind of mean. Self-spin LOL.
Take a look there from Jeremy Miller's point of view from that spin. Caution out now for the 5th time. And what did I say? We're talking about Larry Mack trends of the race. Cautions breed cautions.
Breed cautions. In 3 of the last 5 races here at Homestead.
Come on, finish that.
I don't know.
Did you do your homework?
No.
Did you do your homework?
I didn't do my regular work. Why would I do homework?
Well, I'll tell you what. The average last caution, thanks to Hunter's homework, I'm not going to take credit for it. Hunter's homework.
We're having too much fun tonight.
Average last caution was with 35 laps to go. So
not quite there yet.
Not quite there, but we're approaching it.
But, Finian, Season 2 was an overtime finish.
Yeah, I think that's definitely going to be the case for tonight.
Now we're going to bunch these cats up and... Sorry.
I mean, last season was 57 to go for the final yellow, so I wouldn't guarantee it just
We're in the
yet,
window.
but we are inside of that. You got to take a look. That track temperature's come down, Hunter. It was as high as 133. It's down to 128. Still 230 in the sim time here at Homestead, the virtual Homestead, Miami Speedway. So still a hot racetrack. These guys are still going to be sliding around, trying to get going for it.
Let's have some fun while we're under yellow here. A couple weeks ago, we talked about the SimTV mascot to be the digger, what animal should be the SimTV mascot? I'll be monitoring both the Twitch chat and the YouTube chat to pick us a mascot for
this camera right here.
Exactly.
I have an idea.
What are your ideas?
So you got one of two options.
All right.
A honey badger.
Okay. Yep.
Because we just don't care whether these guys bring out yellows or stay green. We still love putting on the broadcast anyway. Or chipmunk. Because they like to burrow in holes. And we are currently in a hole over here in turn 2 watching the field pace on by.
Yeah. I don't know what I would like it to be. I don't know if I have a strong preference. Honey badger is a pretty good one. I think it'd be fun if it was like a meme animal, you know? Like a
I was
a
going
rat or
for
something.
what about a I
spider
actually
monkey?
I have two now. I was originally going to say this one, but then the second thought kind of creeped into my head. So the first one I was going with was caribou because it's something different and obscure, and if it was the size of an actual caribou, it would take up about half the screen.
Call him Canadian Carl, the caribou.
Yeah. And then another one that came into my mind was a capybara.
I was thinking of a capybara as well.
Capybara is a good one.
That would be an interesting one.
Jason suggested a sloth, and I think it'd be really funny if it slowly crawled across the screen and then just got turned into
the SimTV sloth. It works. Starts with us.
Oh man, it's pretty good. Oh, the capybara.
We'd have to
is
stay
good.
on that camera angle to watch the sloth go hiding in a hole so much longer after the field went by.
You switch to the camera and just
be
back to the
down
rest
by
of
the
the
time the
race.
field came around again at a track like Bristol. I mean,
The SimTV platypus.
Oh, platypus would be pretty funny.
Platypus?
Perry the platypus.
Platypus.
Someone suggested it didn't have to be an animal, but then maybe the guy looking around with the empty wallet from what's that from? Tarantino?
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah. The guy when he's looking around with an empty wallet or whatnot.
What about Rocco?
Who's that?
Patrick's pet rock.
Oh.
I was going with the old Rocco cartoon from Nickelodeon.
See, that's what I thought he was referring
That's
to.
where I
Rocco's
went.
Modern Life.
I mean, this would
Rocco's
cost me.
Modern Life.
This would cost me $20 on Fiverr to get done. So I'm curious because I'm actually
Copyright infringements would we make though?
No, you would not.
No, it's originally.
You just don't call it
made.
digger.
Yeah.
It's just a random animal diving out of the way of race cars on a particular banking shot. There's
Fun fact for that camera angle, I have it listed as digger cam because
exactly.
That's old school. Fox used to do that all the time.
I miss digger.
Digger's dead. It was 6 more
Got
weeks
run
away.
over.
So
Hey, February 2nd is coming.
It is coming up soon. So is this restart. Green flag back in the air and a great start. Almost a 2 great restart for Miller Racing there in the 56 and the 28. You saw that time to perfection for them. Seth Knoll trying to come back as well as Jake Nichols. Again, that Miller Racing versus Solar Flare battle as we're about to go 4 wide here out of turn 2.
Yeah, very interesting spot for Cedric Hunter to be in. The biggest mover of the race, up 23 spots since the green flag has flown. About 100 laps ago, nearing on that lap 100 mark, and these guys still fanning out through 3 and 4. Springer and Weishart getting all the way close to the wall. Curran on the bottom, almost making contact with O'Kresick.
Hard fought battle between the 51 and the 14 as the top 4 somewhat sort themselves out. Springer up against the wall, and there's Cedric Hunter down low, just squeezing on by between the 14 and the 13.
Oh, great run out of that turn from Ryan
Oh,
Hartz.
Kwame Scott on the wall in the background.
And Ed Robertson.
He saves it. But
His
that's
webcam was still getting back to sorted out. I can't quite tell from that angle whether he came up or Ed Robertson was coming off the wall a little bit. We'll see right here. Oh, Kwame thought he was clear. He was not. Unfortunately, Ed Robertson was still there. Meanwhile, back at the front, Travis Beckner going after Seth Knoll again, trying to make Miller 1-2 once more, but Seth not having any of it. Solar Flare coming back strong.
tell you, the laps are counting down quick, and so the intensity to get to the front is going to rise, especially because they know once the cautions start flying, you got to have that track position, and you probably won't hit pit lane again, knowing how hard it is to get back. Beckner's in the fence out of 4.
And he's been really flirting with that outside wall. Going to collect a piece of it, still continue the speed on the front straightaway. But you can see Matheson giving up the slipstream, trying to help him to continue on, but he is really, really flirting with that wall. You see him flying by the camera.
Oh my gosh, he almost wrecked it coming out of turn 2. Holy cow, what a job of driving from Beckner. Yeah, Noel with the block there, and now looking to the inside of Matheson for the lead. Here comes Beckner fighting back on that outside. Not sure how much of a run he's going to have. Meanwhile, just in front of Jake Nichols, teammate Seth Noel going at it for the lead.
Trouble turn 4, the 22. DeLeo's around it into the fence on the front straightaway. We're going to stay green. But DeLeo's in the wall hard.
And meanwhile, taking advantage of the chaos, Seth Noel going to dive into the inside. He's going to try to do a slide job off of turn 2. Matheson just able to get his outside.
Just absolute phenomenal racing from Miller Racing and Solar Flare Racing. These guys inside the top 4, they've been swapping spots all day long. And we might have a 3-wide battle for the lead coming off of 4. Matheson going to prevail, though.
Oh, big run for Travis is going to help push Jake Matheson out well clear of Seth. Seth's going to be fighting for his life just to get to second here. He does have some help from teammate Jake Nichols in tow. And these guys pulling away, but the third team is starting to enter the fray here, Kyle. Solid rock performance. Who's that? Connor O'Crescent moving his way forward. Is Ricky Springer still in Solid Rock? Has he moved?
He's in Solid Rock. Right.
Battle continues up front here.
He's with Powerhouse.
Right.
1, 2, 3 line astern there. Jake Nichols there in 4th, tucking in line. And Ricky Springer, you look at the 28 go right up to the top side again. And it's teammate on teammate action here up front, 2 by 2.
Yeah, you can see the aggression picking up with a lot of these drivers there. They know we're getting towards the end of that race. And there it goes. Travis Beckner going to sail into the lead. I wonder if that was planned or not, but one thing that wasn't planned, Seth Noel diving to the bottom, trying to take the fight to the 56.
Well, Beckner's going to... Oh my gosh, he almost tapped the wall on 3 and 4. He might tap it here on corner exit. Oh my gosh, he is bouncing off that wall like crazy. Now getting a bump from teammate Matheson. Going to keep the lead going into turn 1. Might have a 3-wide battle on our hands this time as Matheson pinching the one towards that apron. Here comes Jake Nichols as Beckner going to clear off turn 2.
Jake Nichols did his best to try to drive to the outside of the 56. He couldn't quite get there. These Solar Flare side by side for 3rd. Here comes Nichols getting followed Beckner up to the high line.
This is really intense action here, and everyone knows how critical this phase of the race is, and Matheson can't get back, but look at Nichols now popping to the left, and here comes Ricky Springer leaving Seth Noel out to dry, 2 by 2 for 2nd and 4th.
Nichols going to the inside, Matheson trying to pinch him down, kill his run off the corner so he can help his teammate out and help his team out overall. But Nichols still keeping strong there. Beckner actually trying to have to pull out a lane to make sure he doesn't give an accidental toe to that 73, who's still trying to work that inside lane.
Boy, Nichols not going down without a fight to the inside of Matheson. Going to be close here, coming off turn 4, not just for him, but those guys in the back you see with Brad Slaughter, David Weishart, Ryan Hartz, these guys 8th, 9th, and 10th. And then you got Matthew Bell trying to crack the top 10. Guys are all over the place on the racetrack, bottom, middle, top, and all the way near the wall as you see Weishart try to get the run down turn 2 and down the back.
So close to the fence, but look at the run that he builds there. The closer you can get to the wall, the faster you're going to go. He's going to try to squeeze up the outside of the 83 as Slaughter, and that is putting a 3-foot peg in a 2-foot hole there.
So a while back, you got a change on the side that actually produced a lot of what we feel called side force. The closer you are to the wall, the tighter you can make that gap, the more stuck the car will feel. It'll almost like a bubble right between the right side of the car and the wall. I don't know how much that applies to the Cup car opinion because the Cup cars are symmetrical.
Oh, the 33! No! Contact, spin off of turn 2 and going to collect the 83. 33 will hit the inside wall and the caution will fly once again.
And this changes everything.
Yeah, we're talking about Weishart being loose, fighting hard. And unfortunately here, caught the 83.
Oh, gosh. And then finally just finds that opening, as race cars do. Bam. 1-2 punch, front, rear.
There's thing that there's a lot of side force. It helps keep the car like stuck up there. Well, that one, a little too much throttle made that car unstuck. Just right there, counter steer, it's gone. And Brad Slaughter Jr., the unfortunate victim of circumstance, being to the inside of the 33 there.
He might have saved it had the 83 not been there, but just he would have chased it down the whole racetrack. But there's a lot of pavement down there. But he collided with the 83 and re-accelerated them towards that inside wall. They got lucky, actually. It could have been a lot worse than it was.
This is the equivalent to the seas parting for, I believe that was Ryan Harsh we were on board with, right in the midst of that battle. And now here come these guys coming in, possibly making their final pit stop of the day.
And down they come.
And they come indeed, and I'm curious to see, does anyone flirt with maybe doing 2 tires, or is it going to be 4 tires?
Oh.
Yeah, you're gonna
absolutely not.
You're gonna take 2 tires to the dance and then leave them and take 4.
The only 2-tire call I could potentially see, Finian, is left side. And even then, that doesn't really make too much sense. If you take rights, inherently you make the car looser, and already being on the edge of grip.
The 4 took 2 tires. The 4 took 2 tires, baby.
And Beckner out. Well, the 4 will not get to the lead, though. He'll get to 3rd. But yeah, he took 2 tires. He's the one that risked it.
I don't like this call. 126 track time. The car is already proven to be fairly sketchy and on edge. 2 tires is just going to make that even looser. 2 rights, I should say. 2 lefts, I can see it being tighter, but also you don't wear the lefts compared to the right sides on an oval. So, Aussie call, we'll see what the 4 can do.
I've seen it much harder than 126. I think the record for SimTV, I think, was in the 150 range.
Was it that hot? I thought I remember 148 at Indy one time.
There was a fuel race that was at Charlotte. It was 153, 154. It was stupidly hot.
Cook a steak on that. Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah, fuel was
I've seen a real life track be that hot.
That'd be wild.
Oh, we got a camera adjustment going on here for... Nope. It's gone. The 33 has left the Zoom call.
Oh, no. Did he retire?
Well,
no.
Frustration.
Yeah,
it looks like he's retired.
He's sitting on pit road because he's got a bunch of damage to repair. So, obviously, David Weishart unhappy with himself. I'm sure he's kicking himself for what just happened there.
He is.
Hopefully, he doesn't have any. Hopefully, he doesn't have any damage in his setup.
So I'm noticing Kwame Scott down the order. He is 6 laps down. Did we miss something with him?
I will investigate.
Because I remember he was involved in some wrecks, but nothing like permanent, nothing severely damaging him enough to cause him 6 laps. Be down on pit lane.
He came down pit lane earlier under green. And it spent 3 minutes. Oh, he did get hit actually. Leaving turn 2.
Was that the Ed Robertson incident?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he got turned into the outside wall.
Oh,
right. From that.
Oh.
Yeah. Suspension damage on the right front, probably.
Yeah, that makes sense. I didn't think that was that bad of a hit, but I guess we've seen the toe links be the Achilles heel of this car, so I think that's what did it for him.
Especially, he probably had the wheel turned to the left once he felt the contact and started getting turned right. And when you hit the wall and the wheel's not flush with the wall, and it gets bent, yeah, it's not a fun time. I see him coming down the road for more damage repair. Justin Anasogak has stayed out on the racetrack on 28 lap tires.
Oh boy.
Watch the wheel spin is what we'd say if we were in driver's chat with him. I'm sure he's already been told about that. We'll see what the 67 can do. He's going to restart in front of the 2 tires of Cameron Hearn. And then I think Seth Knoll is not too happy that he has to restart in the 3rd row outside.
Whoa. Oh, who was that that just dove down to the inside?
Trying to find out who that was. That
Ben Pierce.
Ben Pierce. Is he okay?
Just turned left and stopped.
Well,
28 laps
nope,
down.
Gone. He's gone. Okay. Well.
Huh.
So. Oh, Packet. Ooh. Internet issue potentially.
Connection. Yeah.
Okay. So he said something was happening. So he's going to pull out preliminary. Well, we'll see how this restart's going to play out here. Justin Anasogak, over 20 lap old tires. 2 fresh tires for the 4. Everyone else on 4. We'll see how this plays out as we're back green here at Homestead with the 67 leading them down.
Good launch for the 67, but it's going to get eaten up right here. Comes Beckner to the inside, looking to take that lead back already. Hearn on the outside. Going to put Sogak in a situation here. 3 wide down the backstretch for the lead. Hearn with the run on the outside. He's going to have it for now. We'll see what the Miller Racing machines of Matheson and Beckner can do in turn 3.
Or rim riding up there. He's going to try to drive around. There's full contact there. These two are not friendly with each other either. Here comes Matheson now to fill the hole on the outside, but Beckner's going to remember that. These two have long had a history. Trouble, turn 1. The 11 gets turned. Big hit. Big hit behind him for Skylar Shackelford into the outside wall. There's 3, 4, maybe 5 cars in it.
And the caution flag will fly yet again. I was expecting it to be near the front of the field, not near the back.
Justin Bondurant, I think, got turned down a straightaway.
He did.
It was the Skylar Shackelford. They made contact right there.
Oh.
And
I think
Bryce Senizak getting collected, well, Jeremy Miller and Garrett Grant.
I think the 88 may not be happy because I think race control is going to pin this one on him again.
Yeah, I was going to say he wasn't happy with the earlier car call. I don't think
call.
he's going to be happy with this one either.
Bryce Senizak is the innocent bystander here, and man, this is going to hurt.
Oh, yeah.
And he gets it in the rear from the 88.
Not ideal for Senizak in the points.
Oh,
by the
Evan
way.
Robertson. What a save.
There's nothing I could see that preceded that either. Wow, what a mess. That 88 smashed that fence.
Some drivers getting into the wall there. Senizak really getting the worst end of that, missing his front nose.
I don't know if this is intended, but I think Jeremy Miller just parked the car in the wall to help get it slowed down without hitting anything. If he did that, that was incredibly smart, because he went into the wall pretty easily.
Yeah, I can see him potentially doing that. Of course, I think at this point he doesn't care. He's not been having the best of races.
It kind of worked. That's a pretty clever trick, if that's what he did.
I can get put on the wall if I'm already there.
We see a SimRap market replay of that.
Oh, yeah, why not? I don't see why not. I've got a couple laps of pacing left to go. It'll take me a while to find it. Give me a second. There we go. Nope. Did I go too far? Oh, right here.
That's correct.
I mean, he just used the drag on the fence. Might slow you down better than the brakes do.
Let's see here. So we saw the
get
spin.
on board here.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it was really planned. I think he was just trying to hope and pray that he could
let's
avoid.
hop on board. Let's watch the wheel. Let's see what the wheel does here. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he's turning left. Potentially locked the brakes up and went straight, because we saw Garrett Grant do that early in the race. It didn't bring the yellow out, but he got on the brakes so hard he cleaned Ed Robertson out.
So for Cameron Hearn, this is definitely the better situation for him.
Best
More
case
laps,
scenario.
more laps to get a kill under caution. I think he's going to be hoping that we do get a bunch of yellows from here on out, because we've got 35 laps to go. So we're getting down to nitty gritty, and we've seen how chaotic these restarts have been, and it's only really going to get worse from here on out, I think.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to how this last 25 laps play out. If Beckner can get around the 4, if Hearn can make it work with these quick cautions, because if that's the case, then it seems like Hearn's going to be in a good spot. But still a lot up for grabs here in the final 25 laps at a factor of 2:10 at Homestead.
Have we done the factor bit yet?
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead. Go
I'd like
ahead.
to. Looking to eat healthier in 2024? No need to fear, Factor is here. Choose from over 20 different meal options each week, including keto-friendly choices, calorie-smart meals, and vegetarian options. Factor meals are prepared with nutrients and ready to eat in 2 minutes or less, saving time so you can enjoy your day without meal prep or cleanup. Click the link below to get started and use coupon code FACTORS-E46850 to save 50% off your first box.
Easier option for those of you in Twitch chat. Exclamation point factor.
Yeah, there's a good one. I like that. I
Yeah,
feel
I
like
was
a
gonna
infomercial guy.
I was going to say, you definitely sound like it. Sound like the bit, so.
I should go on, what's that website you can,
As seen on TV?
no. The one where you can, wrench your voice out. I think it'd be fun to, do a little,
Can't you
end
do
up
that
on,
on Fiverr?
Probably, but like just Finian like turns on his TV and I'm like narrating AT&T commercial or something.
Hey, I mean, if the race broadcasting career doesn't work out, there's your backup.
You could be the next Billy Mays.
I'm trying to find an ad read from a brand.
No, you know what I think you guys should do here at SimTV?
What's
that?
You gotta find the read for the rights of this broadcast are reserved for area iRacing only.
Oh yeah.
This is the sole product of SimTV.
Oh, I do that. I have that.
You gotta hear that at the end of the broadcast.
It's not a written. It's a scrolling thing. I don't know if we have used it recently.
We haven't used it in a recent, but for pretty much all of our broadcasts up until I think the last year or so, we've been running that at the end. So we haven't been saying it in a cool voice, and of course NASCAR. You know what? Also, what annoys me? The NASCAR.
Oh, I got one. Hold on, I gotta get this before the restart. The $5 foot-long Orchard Chicken Salad Sub is back, packed with juicy chicken, sweet apples, tart cranberries, and a crunch-alicious celery. It's bushel full of flavor on freshly baked bread. Here for a limited time only. Subway, eat fresh.
We're not actually sponsored by Subway.
Yeah, I was gonna say Area or SimTV, not affiliated with Subway, but we are affiliated with this restart here as we come back green here at Homestead.
That's how I'm announcing our new affiliation with Subway.
We'll see what's going to happen here, though, because one thing that's not fresh is the tires on that 4, at least one side of the 4 car, as he's battling side by side with Jake Matheson off turn 2. The 56 trying to get by as he's sideways out of turn 2 a little bit.
The run the 73 had right there on the 28. He almost could have pulled out and made a bid for third. They'll hold in line and hope they can get by the 2 tires of Cameron Hearn. There is a train of cars, Kyle, running the top lane with Ricky Springer on back.
Well, if you're not up front in that train, you better start shunting your way around the yard to get up there, because look at this battle into turn 1, side by side between Hearn and Matheson. Matheson got shuffled over. Hearn dropped to the bottom, and they're still door to door, but I think the 56 is going to win this battle if he can carry the speed out of turn 2.
4 is going to try to slide up. Here comes the slipstream from the 56 trying to get on by. He will not. He will just actually peel by. Last second dive into turn 3.
Hearn holding on to that outside lane for all he can. Beckner in the wall back there, but Matheson going to go to the lead and have enough room to clear the 4 of Hearn. He'll try a crossover, just tuck in line, going into turn 1. Matheson going to actually give him the outside. Not sure if that was a smart idea, but here comes Hearn.
Slide job.
Slide job.
56 is going to slide himself clear. Well clear of the 4. Wall hit for the 28. Kyle has given the 73 Jake Nichols free reign to go after Cameron Hearn.
Yeah, it's game on now. You separate the teammates. Now you get Nichols alone with Matheson, and I think these two are going to go at it out of turn 4. Side by side here for second place. I don't know that Hearn is going to be able to do much here without a full set of tires. He's clinging on, doing pretty well, but there goes that 73 through on to second.
Travis Beckner, wheelbase vibrating violently. You see him wiggling the wheel. Takes it turn 2.
Man needs to go to Lowe's or Home Depot and just build himself a stand.
Dude, Amazon it. You can get it in 2 days and you'd be ready for Thursday.
Area and SimTV are also not affiliated with Amazon
or Lowe's. Boom, confetti.
Oh, I missed that commercial. One of my favorite ads here. As you look here,
look, watch this run that the 73 is going to generate right here, guys. He's going to close up to the back of the 56 here by the end of the straightaway. Not as big as I thought.
But still a decent enough run to get him close. He's definitely now in striking distance to the 56. You can see Beckner in the background still trying to work past Cameron Hearn. He's struggling a little bit because Beckner's been limiting that outside lane. That's exactly where the 4 has been running. But battle for the leader between the 73 and the 56. There goes Jake Nichols, dive to the inside as we go under 20 laps to go.
Not going to be enough to clear from the 56 of Matheson. They're going to be side by side down the back, but going to give the run as Beckner just clears Hearn coming out of turn 2. My gosh, that was kind of close between the two drivers. And Nichols going to tuck in line. I'll go to the outside, try to generate a run. Here comes Beckner trying to close in on the mix as Hearn gives up 4th to Seth Knoll.
Oh, watch this in the background, and we don't have it on our camera at the moment, but Ryan Hartz just ran up all over the back of Connor O'Kresick and almost went for a move around the outside for or that's actually for 6th, excuse me. As we see Jake Nichols trailing in the tire tracks in the 56. Jake Matheson, that's not where he wants to be. He's got to get some clean air on the nose and make a run at this.
Almost only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, but they are throwing grenades down here. Look at this throw by Jake Nichols down here into turn 3. Beckner's going up top. He's going to come out of nowhere in this 28, but he's in the fence.
The wall.
Gosh.
Trying to make something work here. And Cameron Hearn, to his credit, he gets a great run. He's going to go back for 3rd. Fantastic run out of turn 4. Going to use what he can to dive it. Can't handle it as soon as he gets off the corner. The tires just aren't there for him, but he's still hanging on in the top few positions, just trying to hang on here for these last couple laps.
Got fired from a slide job and he's another slide internship before he can get that one.
I think he might need another caution potentially to get himself back on pace with everyone else, but
go to slide college and get a slide degree. Another slide job.
Whoa,
the 28 in the wall again.
That one may do some damage.
We keep saying that, but he ends up somehow making it through, despite all the times he's made contact with the wall so far.
A great run here from the 28 of Beckner on the 73 of Nichols, although he's tapped the wall quite a bit. Whoa, hello, someone at the moment coming out of turn 2 and down the backstretch. Might have been, was that Blaze McKinney?
Yeah, I think it was
no, that's Jared
17.
Jr.
Yeah.
We'll save it, continue onwards. Ricky Springer and Michael Curran. Well, hello, Ricky Springer. Blowing right underneath the camera.
Hearn in the wall.
Cameron Hearn just hit the wall right up the road from these two. He still maintains. Now we're going potentially 3 wide for the lead. Travis Beckner top. Jake Nichols here in the middle, trying to get after Jake Matheson.
Beckner's still making time up there, guys.
Big run.
He's got a huge run. Will he go anywhere with it? No, he slams on the brakes. Right on board with Travis Beckner again, looking to the inside. The lane is open up. Oh, man, the wheel looks like it's going to fall off the desk with how hard he's trying to fight it.
Once you do that little shimmy, you know you're getting serious, because that is the old sim racing shakedown when you're losing grip.
He's in dirty air here. This is going to be bad. He's getting real tight across the wake of the diffuser, the 20 or the 73. Still somehow manages to find a run.
Checking the mirror there, seeing Okrezik closing. That's going to light the fire under the rear end there of the 28, down to the bottom in 3 and 4.
He's going to throw it in there. Can he seal the deal? Look at him hanging on to this thing. You can see sideways out the front, him hacking at the wheel, trying to hold on to this thing.
Trouble! Blaze McKinney has gotten turned into the wall by the 17.
We're still green. We're still green, but he's going to get hit just upside down.
No.
Tumbling.
And now the caution flies.
Up and over on his lid.
Oh, man.
Blaze McKinney just got sent to concussion protocol with that hit.
I think Jeremy Miller here needs to be in the concussion protocol.
He had
it. And the seam vault fine here, and then...
Oh, man.
He hit that car a ton.
I've never seen anything like that in my life.
This is why I started here. The 17, I think, is Sherry Jr. We saw him loose earlier on. He's going to slide, collects the 87, around he goes. And then you didn't see the first time here from the background. Jeremy Miller trying to figure out where the 17 is going to go and pick wrong.
If you watch that onboard, it's going to hurt. But at the moment of contact, Jeremy Miller was doing 154.
Holy cow.
Blaze McKinney was doing 70.
Right on board
nearly
with
100 mile an hour difference, 80 mile an hour
Jeremy
difference
Miller
between
first.
those two.
It's like tying a freight train at a railroad crossing.
Oh, that's a violent hit. All right.
I really hope, if he has a direct drive, I really hope he took both of them, took their hands off the wheel.
All right, there's the turn in the wall. And then everything seemed to be fine and held under your hats.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, the scraping noises.
Oh, guys, pit lane. Wow, that was wild. Split decisions on pit lane. The 73 has come down, and he's brought some friends with him.
He has brought some friends with him, and that's always interesting when you see a
20.
split strategy. 7 cars staying out, the rest of the field coming into pit. Sorry, 9 staying out now as the rest of them pass on through. That's going to make things interesting. Drivers who stayed out, Jake Matheson, Connor Okrezik, Travis Beckner, Ryan Hartz, Ricky Springer, Matthew Bell, Casey Lakatos, Justin Sogak, and Garrett Grant. And coming off of pit lane, Cameron Hearn coming down. He just got gas. He got 3.8 seconds in the box.
I think
he did.
so.
No, tires, just gas.
I don't know.
You need tires, you idiot.
The only thing I can think of is that if you get more fuel, it puts the rear of the car down. The diffuser closer to the ground generates more downforce. That's the only reason I could see him making that call. Also of note, Anisogak and Grant were on pit lane under the last caution, so their tires are about 5-7 laps fresher than the top 7 that did stay out. And the Solar Flare boys are the first ones
and
on fresh Goodyear tires.
Douglas Newbegin there in the background for Lucky Duck. So Nichols, Knoll, Newbegin, 2 tires for them. Curran and everyone else.
Back down pit road.
Ah. So I guess he does need tires.
I bet you one of the options was not checked. Left. He may have unchecked the right.
I mean, I wouldn't have bothered at this point, to be honest.
Yeah, he's just giving. I mean, he's giving it all up. He's going to be back to 23rd. How it cycles out, unless Blaze McKinney needs to come down and get more damage repaired.
Well, this just got interesting. If it wasn't already.
Yeah, I think we had.
Edward Sherher Jr. has just picked up cause of incident EOL as well. So the 17's got to restart at the back for this potential final restart. We'll see what these guys can do.
Oh, I don't think it's the last restart.
You don't?
Oh, no.
We're following the trend for an overtime finish like we did in season 2.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We've had more interest in the last 50 laps than a cow in a pen full of bulls. So
Cow in a pen full of bulls. It's a new one.
That one's out of left field too. So. We are unhinged tonight.
Slicker than a pocket full
See
of
what
pudding.
happens. See what happens when you guys put me in the booth instead of on pit road.
See what happens when you take me out of a responsibility where I actually have to pay attention and I can just think about dumb stuff.
All right, Finian, you're producing the rest of the SimTV broadcast this season.
Boy.
I just get to sit here and plot all the dumb things we're going to say. Because Finian can attest, when you're producing and commentating, you are maxed out 12 out of 10, can't think about anything else.
Oh, yeah, no.
Listen, when I watch tomorrow's broadcast of the Truck Series race back and I don't hear a beautiful segue to one of our ad reads, I'm going to be very upset.
It's actually funny because every single time we've done an ad read, I've been ready to cue it up, and then you guys have been rolling into it. So I'm like, all right, well, it was at least someone else is thinking about it too.
See, what makes it good is you got to come up with a good segue, so that everyone remembers it.
You gotta wrap it up and get ready for this restart, just like you gotta wrap up your simulated race car with SimWrap Market. All right, we already did that one, but
beautiful.
See.
Well, we've gotten a lot of use of our SimWrap Market replay tonight, I'll tell you what.
We really have.
And something tells me we're not done yet with seeing that SimWrap Market replay. We will see here Jake Matheson and the rest of the top 9 coming to green on old tires. Everyone else, fresh tires on back. Pretty much half the field split of what's remaining. 23 cars left in this race, all of which on the lead lap. Let's see how this goes. The slow run down to the line. Here we go. Back green will be 7 laps to go here at Homestead. Everyone fanning out, trying to get spots. Matheson and Beckner off and away as we wait to see already 3 wide into turn 1.
There's that purple car on the top. Jake Nichols, Hunter, is getting himself track position. Beautiful move to the top side.
Him and Doug Newbegin not wasting any time trying to go to the front in just a handful of laps as he's looking to get around Springer. Here comes Newbegin down low. Meanwhile, up front, Beckner on the outside trying to generate a run. Here comes Okresic, and Anisogak going to bounce off the wall.
Yeah, that was a pretty decent hit there for the 67, but he should keep most of his speed going. Now cars tucking in line using the draft. The 73's popping out of line here down into turn 1. 28 still rim riding out there, but he's not going forward anymore.
He's not going forward, and this is where the guys in the front need to start looking back here, because here comes Jake Nichols. He's also bringing forth Doug Newbegin, who we haven't really seen a whole lot of this 71, but he's now trying to play with the big dogs up in the front now with his fresher tires. There's Seth Knoll in the background as well. Everyone in the background still also just filing out to all sides of the racetrack to basically just pick some piece of real estate in the turn and stick with it as they almost make contact there with Matthew Bell and the 71 of Doug Newbegin.
Jake Nichols closing in on the 3 of Ryan Hartz there for the 4th position on the racetrack. Actually, 3rd. Here comes, he's all over the bumper of Boy, that's a handful for him there as he's trying to work his way around. He's got 5 laps to go to do so, catching the 3 of Hearts and the 28 of Beckner.
Jake Matheson just turned the fastest lap of the race that last lap, so those old tires still got something in them. That 56 car to the bottom comes to 73. He's going to put bottom 3. Ryan Hart's in the middle, Travis Beckner on the top as they go into turn 1.
And smart decision making by the 3 of Hearts to make that only 2 as they went off into 1. Something tells me the 73 is not backing out of this move here. And I don't think the 28's got anything left to be able to defend that. But let's see, he's going to give the 73 a shove. No, he's going to bail out to the left.
Bails out to the left, makes a dive into the corner, the Hail Mary. Everyone's fighting for every position they can. The 28, though, he's just not going to be able to hang on. He's going to go sideways out of the corner trying to save it. But here comes the 73 with those fresher tires and the grip, and will get that spot for third. Does he have enough tires? And really, at this point, does he have enough time to get to the leaders?
Might need another yellow to do so, but he does have the fresh tires. See if he can close the gap because he's got to get around Okrezik first before he can even think about getting around Matheson. Beckner's still bobbing and weaving back there, and guys still jockeying for positions inside the top 10 as Hartz looks to the inside of Beckner for 4th.
Tires, yes. Time, no. Jake Nichols is going to need some help if he wants to win this race. Ryan Hart's after Travis Beckner. Beckner in the wall once more. That's going to get
behind him, the 51. That was very close. He keeps it straight, but he bounced off the fence, went down about 5 lanes of traffic, and straightened it back out. There's still 3 wide down there in 1 and 2.
Well, he's had just about one more lap for a caution, so if it was to come out, Nichols needs to come out now here as these guys are fighting hard back here.
Yeah, they're running out of time for a caution if you're Connor Okrezik or Jake Nichols. As Matheson trying to work his way through. Here comes Beckner. That's his teammate trying to hold on to a top 5. But to no avail, coming out of turn 4. He's going to have one more lap to do so. White flag one more time from Homestead.
This isn't over yet. Nichols was 2/10 faster than the leader that last lap. Now this past time, he was a 10th faster. He's about 6/10 back. I just don't know that he can make it work, Kyle.
He's going to have one more shot, at least at the 14 down here in 3 and 4. Big run on the 14 of Okrezik. He's not going to block it. It'll be side by side for second, but Matheson's relatively clear. Right on the door is the 73 into 3 and 4 Finian.
Side by side battle for second place as they're going to be pretty much dooring each other coming to the line, but up in front, this man's untouched. The 56 of Jake Matheson will bring it home here at Homestead in a tight fight for second. Okrezik will win out over Nichols, Ryan Hartz, and Seth Knoll, then Ryan Hartz, as it's still sorting itself out here after a hard-fought battle to the end.
Beckner's slide at the end just cost Miller more of a gap to Solar Flare Racing in the team championship.
Well, not only that, Springer's little mishap coming from a few laps ago cost him a top 10, finishes 11th.
And Jake Matheson rolling around here. 105 laps led this race. He didn't lead all of them, but led a vast majority of them and was definitely the man to beat here tonight as the Calusa Pines machine is going to burn it down once again.
It's been a really good year for this team and this driver. And the team battle has been fierce all year long, but it's getting down to crunch time, guys, and I think you've really got to start upping your strength if you're going to beat the 56 in the playoffs.
Win number 4 on the season, and he extends his point lead for the regular season title bout, which will give him even more playoff points if he can win that regular season title into the playoffs. Jake Matheson on a huge roll, Finian. Definitely where he wants to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you got Connor Okrezik, who had a really solid run there at the line. Was able to hold off Jake Nichols for second place. Nichols in third, Seth Knoll back in fourth. Ryan Hart's rounding out the top 5. He definitely needed a good night as he was in the outside of the points coming in to tonight, so I think this might boost him into that top 12. Beckner, Curran, Newbegin, Greg Mitchell, and Matthew Bell will round out your top 10.
And looking down the list there, Ricky Springer in 11th, Casey Lakatos 12th. Tyler Nichols grabs a 13th place result there. Cedric Hunter showed speed, I think, better than 14th, but he'll take it. Top 15 there for the 23. Justin Anisogak, he bounced off the wall a couple times there late, so to finish 16th, I'd consider that all right. Cameron Hearn, the strategy didn't play out there, Hunter, and he ends up in 18th place.
Moving on back to 21st, Dom DeLeo finishes there, one of the higher running Fords. And got Blaze McKinney, who had a really good run earlier on in this race. Unfortunately, couldn't quite finish the deal. Couldn't finish back in 22nd. Sheridan Jr. Jeremy Miller, who had a very disappointing race back in 24th. Bonner and Shackelford, who had a couple incidents tonight. Brad Slaughter and David White are two really solid cars that could have finished well, as well as Kwame Scott. You could throw him into the mix. All of them retiring out a little bit too early on. Ben Pierce rounding at your top 30.
Strong result there for a handful of drivers, but these are the drivers that did not have a very good day. Connor Horn out early. Rafe Slate, of course, with his issues early on, about 20 laps into the race. Mason Kane never got a green, and then Shane Wolf and Jacob Bell also with some problems there early in the going. So they will have some work to do, but a couple of these drivers are in better shape in the points than these results would dictate, Finian. But again, it's getting down to crunch time. You're running out of mulligans, especially if you're not locked in with a win.
Oh, absolutely. And we'll take this time now to talk to our third place finisher, Jake Nichols, waiting on by. Jake, SimTV Youth, you got a copy?
Yes, I do.
All right, Jake. Well, we saw you were in a hard-fought battle all race long. You were fighting up there with Jake Matheson, with Travis Backner, with Connor Kresik. Unfortunately, wasn't enough to get the win, especially with those fresh tires. Looking back, do you feel like that was still the right call, or are you thinking otherwise?
I mean, yeah, I think maybe take a little more fuel. It was a bit tight to start, which really hurt because that first lap, that was when we needed to make up the most time. So I think taking a gallon or two of fuel just to get the rear end going a little more, especially considering it was so loose, or on the loose side the whole race. But I mean, with how that race went, we'll take it. We got wrecked there just before halfway, I think it was, somewhere around there, and I got lucky. I mean, it told me I couldn't repair it all, so I knew I was going to be a little hurt. I couldn't directly notice if it where it was affecting me, whether it was the end of the straightaways or making me a little different handling, maybe a little freer at times, maybe a little tighter other times. But we saved a set of tires there. I didn't want to burn a set that quick, so we started out with scuffed tires pretty much, and I went for it. We took the lead. I was so hyped, especially knowing I had that set still with everyone else. I was on even tires, just a little more hurt at the time, but we'll take it with how it could have gone. I mean, that's probably one of the loudest hits I've heard, other than straight up going full throttle into a wall, and to still have a chance to win after that, you take that any day of the week. The moment I took the lead after that crash, I was like, this is a win no matter what, because I could have been destroyed like Kwame and a few others. So we'll take it. We probably matched Miller at the end of the night, team points, but we'll still take it any day of the week, considering that could have been really bad and really quick there around halfway. So either way, a good race for us in the Solar Flare Racing Camaro.
Yeah, and speaking of which, for Solar Flare Racing, looking at the team standings, you guys were 3 points ahead of Miller Racing. And actually, I'm looking at the results refreshed right now. You guys are actually in a dead heat with them. Of course, you guys have been trading blows all season long. So what's the game plan as far as the team championship? Because you guys have been going neck and neck so far this season.
We just got to keep doing what we're doing. I mean, we lost a lot. We've had a race or two where we lost a good chunk, and they haven't really had that. They've been a little more fortunate than us. Obviously, they have a really good team lineup. I mean, in terms of their 4 against everyone else's 4, they got the best on average for sure. And so we knew it was going to be hard to compete with them, but we just keep doing our thing. Damage control is number one when we do get in those wrecks. Phoenix, everything that could have went wrong for our team did. Seth crashed, I got crashed, Tyler got crashed, Dwayne got crashed, even Delonte at the time, who was technically an affiliate, he runs part-time, but he even got crashed. It just wasn't a good race, and we overcame and got a 9th and an 18th out of that, and that's really our goal. Just, you got to do everything you can to match them, just in case they go next week, or at Talladega, for example, where we could crash. And maybe they have that bad luck string where all of them just get involved in stuff. And the fact that we've churned points each and every week and just got closer and closer and closer, and now we're with them, that's great. I mean, it's going to be a hard-fought battle no matter what. They got a great team lineup, but so do we. I'm very confident. I think we're going to keep digging. Seth and I have been working really good together in these races, and I'm hoping that we can escape Talladega coming up and try to leave there with the point lead, and then it's just set sail in the playoffs and hope that we can come out with a dub.
All right, Jake. Well, congrats on your third place finish. Solid job. Best of luck going into next week.
Thank you. See you then.
All right, moving on to our second place finisher, we got Connor Okrezik. And Connor, I got to say, for some parts of this race, you kind of fell a little bit off our radar, but you came there with a strong resurgence right there at the end, and you had a great battle with the 73 and Jake Nichols coming to the line.
Oh, absolutely. I dropped back a little bit, just trying to save some tires. No need to go too fast. This car was really, really loose tonight. I mean, it was a really great race between me and Jake there at the end. Matheson was just a little bit too quick for me, but I mean, I got Nichols right there at the line. Props to him. I pinched him really hard. Thank him for not running into me. It's just redemption after losing second at Richmond by like a quarter of an inch, and then I got a penalty. So this is a good redemption for that, for sure.
Yeah, and Connor, actually trying to look and see where you are running in the point standings at the moment. You are currently back in 18th, so you're actually just got put back inside the top 20. Looking at we only got a couple rounds left. What's the plan going forward for these next couple rounds? We got we got Indianapolis and then Talladega rounding out before the playoffs. So do you still fancy a chance at getting into the playoffs, or do you think it's maybe a little bit too far out of reach?
I had some pretty rough finishes early on. Just got unlucky early in the season. So, I'm not going to say it's impossible. It'll be a far fetch, but nothing's impossible. I mean, I'm usually pretty decent at Indy, so we'll find out next week, I guess. And then, I mean, Talladega, what can you do? It's all about luck. So. It's Indy or bust for me, I guess.
Well, in that case, best of luck going into Indianapolis for you in the number 14, Connor. Thanks for talking to us.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you.
All right, moving on to last, but certainly not least for this season, we're going to be talking to Jake Matheson. Jake, at this point, it seems like you're just kind of collecting wins. Win number 4 for you this season. In your rookie season, we were actually joking. We were talking about the Rookie of the Year standings with the Rick's Hot Sauce, $100 to the winner. I think, I don't want to assume anything at this point, but I think we got someone wrapped up for that battle, and that's definitely got your name on it. But, looking at this, we were also talking about, during the broadcast, your battle with Solarfire Racing. Of course, you and Travis Beckner are working together all night long.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for the kind words. I really do appreciate it. I like this track. I've loved running this track for however many years I've been running it now. I don't know what it is, but that like seam style racing, just put the left sides in the seam and roll. That just works really well for me. So felt really good tonight. Yeah, Travis, probably the best teammate I could ask for in these races. He's quick and he's pretty good at working with me. So crazy race, really strangely timed yellows I felt for most of the race. I mean, we almost had a 30 lap run at the beginning. Had a yellow with 10 to go there. I'm thinking, oh no, not again with this pit stuff. But came out the end the winner this time. So happy about that.
Yeah, and actually, what kind of, obviously you had a choice, and of course you had the first choice, leading everyone down there. What made you, pick that decision to stay out as opposed to coming down to the pits?
The way I saw it was we had 3 yellows, which is approximately 12 laps of yellow, and that's all time the tires are cooling down. So we only had probably 15 laps green flag on the tires. I'm like thinking, oh, they fire off better on the restarts initially anyway, so I might as well just stay out. I'm kind of surprised more people didn't pit. Only like 8 stayed out, I think. So I was a little worried at first, but it all worked out.
Yeah, Jake, definitely worked out for you here. The 4th time this season in Victory Lane, and I have a feeling it might be far from the last, Jake. Congratulations on your win. We'll talk to you again next week, potentially.
I really appreciate it, guys. Just real quick before I go, I'd like to thank Calusa Pine, Celsius, Area Shop, Alien Gear, Huckett Films, and Miller Racing for everything we do. And hope to see you guys tomorrow night. Same track, different truck, or different car, whatever you get it. It's going to be a good time.
We'll see how it plays out there. Jake, thanks for talking to us.
Thank you. Good night, guys.
All right, with that, that's going to be wrapping up interviews here tonight from Homestead. Gentlemen, final thoughts.
Oh, I love Homestead. I can't wait for the rest of the week. And it's a different battle every single night because of how different the tires are from vehicle to vehicle. But if there's one thing we learned is that aggression can pay off or it can bite you hard depending on how much finesse you've got up at that outside wall. But great battles tonight, and I expect to see more tomorrow.
not as excited about the truck race as I am Thursday for the Xfinity Series, the Florida State Builders Pro Series. I think those cars having more power and a little less aero is going to help them really spread out like the Cup cars did tonight. But the trucks, a little less power, a lot more downforce. I'm not as optimistic about the dynamic track. Nonetheless, it was a great show put on tonight. I wanted to clear up. I did say Beckner sliding there at the end. I thought that cost him even more points in the team championship, but with Jake Matheson's win, that helps make up that gap to actually bring him up 3 points to a dead heat, as you said, Finian, with Solar Flare Racing with, 5 races to go in the season period. It's going to be exciting to see what these two teams can do down the stretch, see who can take home that prize money, in addition to the fact that Jake Matheson is putting together a monster of a Cup Series season, Hunter. He is the one to beat right now. I don't know if there's anyone out there that could do so right now.
Don't know if Hunter is back. I think he's attending to something in the moment. But that's another thing to worry about, though, guys. As you mentioned, just only a handful of races left in the season. We've got, of course, Indianapolis next week for the Cup Series, and then Talladega.
Oh yeah.
So don't count your chickens before they hatch. It's not over yet.
It's always an interesting cutoff race right before the playoffs at Talladega. But that's going to wrap up here Cup Series coverage from the Homestead-Miami Speedway. We still got Homestead-Miami for the rest of the series tomorrow night with the Truck Series and Thursday night with the Pro Series. But that'll be all for tonight. My name is Finney Kuna here with Hunter Sleppy, Eric Wineland, and Kyle Heyer. We'll be calling it a night. Thank you for watching.